I actually wanted to go watch a game tomorrow, but
Who's playing?
Grammar and Mags.
Oh, well.
It's at Grammar, but it's I think 40th tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, Sam's.
So I think Fair wants to go out.
Yep.
So I was like, I gotta look after the kids.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I was just telling this guy, man, I've been sick all day.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I'm feeling like that tomorrow, I'm not going to go. Because,
Oh, yeah. I had a... What's today?
Thursday.
yeah.
I sort of had it like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Like, I'm just getting over it.
You had a cold as well?
Yeah. My girls had it and they're getting over it too.
Yeah.
I think I must have got it from them. But at school, there's heaps of people, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I got sick last month.
Oh, yeah.
I was out for 3 days off work. But
Hey, knocked you off your feet.
straight after that, we had because we get at work, we get the flu jab every year.
Yeah.
So we got it afterwards. After I got sick, so I don't think there was a point, eh? Like if you're already sick, there's no point in having the flu jab that year, eh?
Oh, but did you have the flu?
Yeah, we had the flu.
Oh, okay. Well, probably to prevent you from having it again. Would you? Are you able to, like... You know,
Well, I got it done last year, and man, that was the first year I was never sick the whole year.
Yeah.
So it worked for me.
Getting the flu jab.
I guess it worked for me, you know. Because I usually get sick like from is it autumn to winter? Autumn, winter.
or the change?
That change.
Oh, okay.
I always get sick around about that time.
Or full moon?
I try to, like, read up on the tricks on how to avoid it. But I always get sick, like, a couple of times a year. You know? Like, because you hear of people like, oh, I haven't been sick in, like, 5-10 years and stuff. Those rare outliers.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I do this and that. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try that. But, nah, I still get sick a couple of times a year.
I don't believe anyone who says they don't.
Yeah, do you reckon they're
I
lying,
never
eh?
get sick. Shut up.
Yeah, do you reckon they're lying, eh?
I don't.
Because that's what I'm like, oh, man, I always get sick, like, you know, a couple of times, you know? How can you not get sick at all?
That makes them feel special. It's like, hey, man, good on you. But there's no need to try and rub it in my face, dude.
My one is mainly the run-down ones.
Oh, you just drained.
Yeah, like if there's been thing after thing, you know, sooner or later after a couple of days, then I'll just get sick after that.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. I'll ask you because you're more fitter than both of us. Like, do you get sick regularly every year? Like the flu?
I used to when I was younger, like teenage and that.
Oh,
Because I was typical, you know, teenager, just eat whatever I wanted, you know. I was playing sports and stuff. But I think now that I'm more aware and like sleep too, like, you know, I play video games, just, you know, just young, wild and careless, you know. But now I'll be like, oh, it's been a big day, I better go to bed early. And, you know, little things like that can offset things and get you on the right track. So I do get sick here and there, but I get sick less now. But and then like I find that cold showers has helped me, eh?
oh yeah.
Because I used to hate the cold, but like I don't mind it now. Like, you know, now that it's cold in the mornings, I can get up and I like can handle it better. 'Cause I'm more accustomed to the cold, you know. But before it used to really rattle me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get out of bed, you know. It just took me ages to get out of bed and stuff. But now I sort of can bounce out just in a shirt and walk around the house and stuff.
Yeah.
But when a teenage into 20s, like really struggled, to handle the cold. Yeah, but just a few things like that, and then just knowing.
Is there science behind that?
No,
Having a
you
cold
know,
shower?
No,
Apparently it is,
Yeah,
eh?
so one of the boys, you know, Brett, he's one of those natural. He's one of the boys from work. He makes his own vitamin C and, and supplements and that. And he told me there's studies that show that. So if you've had a normal, like hot, maybe warm shower, that you just put it on blast on cold for 2 minutes, and then you just hop out of the shower, because apparently what it does is it wakes up all your internal organs in that, so the heart starts kind of wakens up. So when if you have a nice cold shower in the morning, you're like everything just jolts.
Yeah.
Then you'll be good for the rest of. He just said you've just got to do it. You know, you got to do it all the time. So you know, every day you do that same routine, and then eventually you just get used to it.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, most days in the morning, and it does set you up. And it sort of sounds weird, but you actually get warm from it.
Oh yeah. After when you come out,
you're cold. But then, like, you sort of feel warm because your body is like
it's trying to adjust back to the
it's trying to warm you up.
Yeah, yep.
So you know, obviously, our body wants to survive, So when you get cold, it tries to heat up.
Oh, yeah. that makes sense.
Yeah, when you're hot, it tries to cool down. That's why we sweat.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing. So I find, and then it sort of, like you said, with your mate, it wakes you up, man.
Yeah,
you feel ready to go in the morning. I had a cold shower before coming here.
Yep.
Because I wanted my mind to be awake in that. Because I was getting tired and stuff like that. I'll get a coffee, have a cold shower.
Yeah.
And, sort of wake myself up, sort of thing.
Because I remember, when you're in Samoa, cold showers is essential, which is normal. But it's that initial get in and it's cold, but then it's all right.
Yeah.
After a few seconds.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here, right?
Yeah. But it's harder here though. I find it's easy if I've been hot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In Samoa.
It's hard early in the morning over here.
Yeah, man, that's hard. It's definitely turn it on and stand there for a few seconds. You gotta jump in there. But it's definitely a lot harder than if you've been hot or sometimes if I've done training or we played sports and you jump into the beach or pool. That's easy as to me. But in the mornings or even late at night, once you've sort of settled down, watched a bit of TV or something, and then you're I don't really want to have a cold shower right now.
So it's like having an ice bath. Those athletes after the game, they jump in the ice bath.
Yeah.
But I heard that there's some science behind that doesn't work. Hey,
really?
I don't know. I remember someone saying
that's been the latest thing.
It's been debunked. That doesn't
the ice.
Yeah, the ice. Yeah,
the ice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't really have any kind of.
It's it's supposed to. It does stop the inflammation, so from the impact and all that, but it doesn't accelerate the healing process.
Yeah.
And the natural healing process that your body does, internally and everything that happens inside your body, it doesn't. It's sort of better to let it happen. And
well, you really see it now. Remember back in maybe 5-10 years ago, they'd go and interview athletes after the game and that, and they'll be getting ready to go into some kind of ice bath, and then I don't really see it these days, or maybe they're just not interviewing anybody around.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff again.
Yeah, it's not as common, eh? You see,
so I'm saying maybe
it's gone to heat.
Hey.
Yeah, but not everybody. There'll probably still be some doing the colds, but I think the heat in terms of blood flow, circulation, the blood moves around a bit better that way. So I don't know. I like both. I feel to me, put simply, is I feel like we should get really hot sometimes, and then get really cold sometimes.
Jump in the sauna.
Yeah, because we can't just be comfortable all the time. That perfect temperature, jump in the car, turn it to a certain heat, come home, turn it to a certain heat. And so anytime you get into a climate where it's not perfect, you're it's really hot or it's really cold, I feel like we just get soft. So if it's just cold, just handle it. If it's hot, just handle it. If it's perfect, then just enjoy that. So whatever, embrace all of it and enjoy all of it, sort of thing, Because I was getting trapped in that. That's why I was just saying before, I didn't like the cold. And I was man, I want it hot and warm. It's comfortable. But then I started to realize, oh, no, you're ignoring an essential part of being a human, That it gets cold and it rains sometimes. And get out in the rain sometimes and enjoy that. Get a little bit dirty. And then when it's hot, enjoy the sun as well. That's just my opinion on it. But I definitely fell into that trap.
I was thinking about how we're talking about changing your body temperature, jumping into a ice bath. If it was middle of winter and you walk outside with just t-shirt and shorts, it's the same thing. You're getting cold, but you're gonna get sick. So the difference between jumping in the ice bath is direct contact to your skin. Do you think there's something there?
What the
direct cold contact to your skin, rather than like I said, jumping outside in the middle of winter with shorts and t-shirts and getting cold that way because you're gonna get sick.
It's a little bit more.
It sounds kind of silly, but
more colder jumping into the thing than.
Yeah, so that means you're going past the.
Yeah.
You're going back. You're going to the extreme.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Get it.
There's been a lot of stuff on the ice bath. I've wanted to get one for a little while. The ice bath and the breathing too. Have you heard of the Iceman, Wim Hof? He's been on a few podcasts. He's been one of the main guys for starting that revolution of ice baths and cold. But there's been other people, but he's just popularized it, and he's got his breathing stuff. But he went through a hard I don't know what happened, but exactly. But his wife passed away, and then the cold helped him get through. They just jumping in the ice bath, because he couldn't think about anything else.
Oh, okay.
And he just had to
So just kind of
focus on his breath.
Yeah.
His breathing, and so that's one of his mantras and things that he's preaching to people is to breathe and get that uncomfortable sort of thing, and it builds mental toughness in that as well. And yeah, so that was one of his things, and then it's expanded. He's done a lot of research into other things to do with the ice and the cold. He climbs like mountains and barefoot and stuff.
What?
Yeah. Look him up, Iceman. His name's Wim Hof, and he does a lot of crazy things. He calls the cold is my warm friend. So yeah, he's all about the.
But I'm just thinking about you're climbing the mountain, rocks and all that, and whatever the temperature is. Are your feet not going to get down? His feet must just have the meanest.
I don't know if he does it I think he's done it. I don't know if he always does it.
Yeah,
but, he's maybe he did it. I don't follow him really, really closely, but I think he just did it to show that you can. And he's big on like the mind, if you focus, and breathe and all that sort of stuff, you can overcome a lot of things. I guess sort of like some of the magicians in that day, like David Blaine and really.
He's the number one kind of.
Yeah, they mastering the mind, and some of the monks in that,
Yeah.
how they heat themselves up. Yeah, I guess it's sort of along that same way of thinking, with these guys.
It's crazy because we're talking about how the power of the mind, and we're just talking about how the body, how you said, we talked about when you jump in cold shower and we hop out in your brain, or your body says it's forcing itself to heat up. It's just amazing how the body, and they always say the greatest computer in the world is the brain.
Yeah.
Like, what's that movie? Did we talk about this before? The one that with Scarlett Johansson and Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then she's able to master the side of her brain or something, and then she becomes all this superhero kind of stuff. And but I mean, it is possible like that. If we manage to unlock like parts of your brain, that are dormant or that have that potential to do that kind of stuff. Because when you hear stories of people like, I think I watched it on 60 Minutes once. And this guy, he must have hit his head somewhere or fell and hit his head.
Yeah.
And when he came around, he knew how to play the piano.
Oh, wow.
But he'd never taken any lessons or anything in his life.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, and then they said something happened. So the knock to his brain must have unlocked some of the whatever side of the brain that you use to play the piano. Or whatever, to do stuff like that. And he just became like a genius and that kind of thing. I was like, oh, this is a movie, this is a phenomenon or whatever of John Travolta,
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, we're just talking about the human brain and
there's percentages of brain we don't use. It's like a lot more than what we do use.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Or is it the left side of your brain or the right side? Or
something
like that?
Yeah. You hear about that, like activating the other side, and there's different things you can do to do that,
Yeah, because like musicians and that the natural musicians, that's a certain side of the brain that they use compared to people like me who I could try and learn how to play piano in 10 years and still probably play Mary Had a Little Lamb kind of thing,
But it's true though, because if you think about music, there's certain songs that soothe you, that make you relax you.
Yeah.
And so someone's tapped into the fact that how they can do something, play something to make you get that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like something that they understand that the brain, everyone will love this. Everyone listens to this, they're gonna be relaxed.
Yeah.
Like a trance or something,
Well, man, because I'm at school, I'm in some of the music classes with the kids and stuff, and it's made me have a deeper appreciation for music and because you use quite a lot of your senses, like you're listening, you feel, you're feeling if you're playing the keys or drums or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feel in it, And, you got your emotions. So there's quite a lot going on, and I think that's why it's sort of really good for the brain, as opposed to like a simple task. There's a lot going on, and that's what I want. My daughters, hopefully, God willing, I want them to play music and, trying to learn Samoan as well, like just trying to make the brain like work out and think and figure things out and fire different parts that we don't usually want it, like, because it's hard, we're so like ignoring it. But I think music's amazing, eh? I can see why these musos really. I love watching them when they're creating like producers and stuff on YouTube and that. That's so cool, eh?
Yeah, man.
I don't really get what they're doing fully, but it's cool, man. They're in another realm, eh? Another world.
You know, you've got to have it like, you know, when you know, me and my mate at work were talking about Kanye West, and he doesn't like Kanye West, and I said, Kanye West's a genius.
Yeah,
but this and that. I said, no, besides whatever, you know, him and Kim are going through at the moment, he's a genius, man, because if you listen to all his samples and all that, you could never, like, you could try and study producing and all that, but you couldn't come up with some of the samples he's used.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He cuts a little bit here, either speeds it or slows it down, puts it on the track, and you know, there's probably about you play one of his, like, I remember his first one, Through the Wire, and that's just that's the meanest loop, man. And he came up that, and then when you hear all his other tracks that he's used, you know, he's used Daft Punk, he's used all these other ones that people wouldn't, you know, when you listen to it, you realize how much of a genius he was when he came to making tracks and that, you know.
I listened to him on the Rogan.
Yeah.
And because I don't follow him too closely, I really liked a lot of his early work, his first few albums and that. And then I listened to him and I was like, man, this guy sounds similar to Elon Musk. I was like, he is a genius.
Yeah.
He's got so many ideas and so many things going on, and then like after that I started to listen back on some of his songs. I was like, like, you know, some of it I don't like, but that's just personal preference. But you know, he's definitely a genius, what's going on in his head, man. Like, and then back in the music, like in the classroom, I'm learning about the notes and it's like the language of it all and stuff. It's really cool,
Yeah,
it's cool, man. But yeah, definitely Kanye, and watching some of the Jay-Z stuff as well. And you know, a lot of the musicians are, you know, poets and stuff in a way, the way they write music and that. But yeah, I try to get into learning how to juggle, because that was like a part of training the brain as well.
Like coordination.
Yeah. So apparently that's a good way to work out your brain, like the muscles. Even now, I always brush my teeth with my left hand, my weak hand. So it's part of firing different part of the brain. So sometimes, like if it's a simple task, I'll try to use my left hand if it's not too hard, because instead of always using my right. So little things like that.
I remember there was a trick that Kobe Bryant did early. Like, if you want to practice dribbling with your left hand, be left-handed, do things normal days with your left hand.
Oh, right, yeah,
like,
true. I didn't know.
Little things like that, brush your teeth or try right. Or, you know, do things with your left more.
Yeah.
I think it's a martial art thing too.
Right,
like, you know, those martial arts guys, if you're weak with either hand, like, use that hand you're not comfortable with all the time, like every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he was encouraging that for ball handling. I guess you just get better at using your left hand in general, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how we're talking about music unlocking your brain, because it's funny when you think of it like humans, we're from the earth, right? And they could talk about like psychedelic drugs.
Yeah.
People use that and they unlock parts of your brain that they never, you know, the creativity, because music comes from creativity, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about the music industry, a lot of those guys are into drugs, like, you know, it's stereotypical thing, or you know, and that's what they do. When you hear stories about them taking psychedelics and then going in the back room and getting visions and then creating some musical or creating anything.
Yeah.
So
like LSD, like you see all these. We see artists works, you know, artists, their paintings when they've been on LSD. It's all those trippy, all those colours and got the eye and all that kind of stuff, you know. And it just shows that there's part of the brain that, you know, it takes certain stimulants to unlock it, you know. Unfortunately, for most islanders, The stimulant is alcohol, and it does the dump side, the dump side of your brain, like that guy who
makes you want to fight everyone.
Yeah, right. You know.
But isn't LSD like manufactured?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like mushrooms, you know, from the
Yeah,
earth,
mushrooms.
You know.
Or remember how
They're from the earth.
Yeah.
You know?
But there's those people that go down to South America to do
ayahuasca,
you know?
Yeah.
And I remember I first heard about it when I first started listening to Joe Rogan, and he was going to go do it, but then what's his name now? He had a different name, but Aubrey Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Aubrey.
Yeah, Marcus. Sorry, yeah, but he had a different name too. So I remember that name, and then when I saw his name, I was like, hey, it's the same guy. But then, like when they talked about it, and then they just said that just when you go into it, like it's like an out of body experience, but your mind becomes clearer and all that. It's they said it's kind of like just not as, because you know when you go tripping on mushrooms or something, apparently it can go two ways. You know, if you're not there's someone, you know, because I remember listening.
You don't want to unlock some things.
Yeah. This sounds, you don't want to be doing that. But then you have to wonder who like how do these people find these ways?
I have my theory. I'll probably offend some people, but that people get into that, like, I don't know, are they like lost and looking for something? Because like I don't have any thing to try to do that. Like I'm enjoying life, you know, have your ups and downs and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit narrow-minded about it, but I don't feel like this is necessary.
I think some people.
But the question is, why does the entertainment industry, like, why does it go towards those drugs and stuff? Why does that industry have to go to, like, you know, it's like a thing, right?
Yeah,
like if you're in the, and like even if you're a chef, right? Like,
is that to keep going? Like, is it starts with that because they take drugs to keep going? Because it's such a harsh schedule. And
I think those ones, like being a chef
stuff,
or bartending. Or, I think it comes with the territory. Like what you said, like to keep up.
Because it's quite a brutal schedule, for musicians and chefs and stuff like that. And then it probably expands into other stuff.
I think the thing why certain musicians. Sorry, too much of all these. But it's that high. They always say it's that high you get.
Yeah.
You know, when you're performing in front of 30,000 people, and that's the energy, and like they say that I think they try and duplicate it or replicate it as much as possible. And the only other way they can get that high is from taking drugs. You know, that's why all these people they want that feeling so naturally. If you know what I mean. Like you've got to be made of something if you want to go and stand in front of 20,000 people and have them chant your name more, you know? Yeah. Like you've got to be like, you might be craving that kind of stuff. So once you get
validation.
That's right. And once it comes, you're going to go, oh man, I want to have that feeling again, you know? So what other ways, you know, it usually starts through alcohol and that kind of stuff. And then once the alcohol's not doing the job, then you're going to, you know, try something else to do it.
That says there's, like, to me, there's holes elsewhere, right? If you need that.
Yeah. That's what
elsewhere in your life, whether it's relationships or whatever, fulfillment, purpose, for you to try to search that out. Because there's a lot of famous people that don't, you know, crave it.
Yeah. I mean,
they're just still from being there.
There are, you know, there's people out there that, but I mean, can you name anyone? Just off the top of your head, would you think someone that's really got it as it's a like entertainer out there that's got it that hasn't come out where there's some controversy of them?
Denzel? In the music?
Yeah, in music.
Oh, music. Oh, I don't know.
Denzel's a good one.
But Denzel was a good one.
Yeah.
But see, he's grounded. He's always been grounded. You know. Yeah. You know, and.
Or he just hasn't been caught.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got a few things, but generally he's pretty clean.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. So.
You know, I was thinking about Tiger Woods right there. Like, everyone thought he was perfect, like for ages, until everything's been crashing down with his extra activities.
All it took was a car crash, you know, and the man, you know, and the thing is,
leave Tiger alone.
But he was clean cut, all the way.
That was manufactured. We knew it then, but you know what? everyone has their vices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's got a weakness.
And so his way of staying, you know him. I think because he always had the edge, and he had the edge by going and doing what he was doing because that's where he was getting his thrills. He didn't need drugs. He just needed.
Yeah. I read Tim Grover's book. I think it's Relentless.
Then he's the trainer for, was it the
Jordan?
Yeah.
And he was saying like,
it's a good book, man.
Yeah, guys like Jordan, Tiger, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and that. But he talked about Tiger, and he was like, he wish because they all have that sort of thing in them where they don't give a damn.
Yeah, well that's how they get there.
And that's why he was like, Tim was like, I wish Tiger just was like.
Came out and said, "That's right."
Yeah.
You know, when
exactly.
I always said that when I was so, I went, man, just admit it.
All of them, like if they whatever the things, they're just like, oh, this is who I am, or whatever. You know, like
exactly.
don't apologize. Sort of thing.
Yeah, don't apologize.
You know when you watch The Last Dance, and Michael Jordan when he talks about his gambling and that, and he's admitting that he says, well, I had the money, so I could do whatever I want. And if
that's good. That's good.
He went, that's, and then people went, that's why he had the edge, man, because he's getting that, he's getting this fix. He's getting that fix somewhere else, and he just took it into the game. If he didn't, if he came out and goes, that's all lies, and people would go, you're fooling yourself. Yeah, we already know, man.
Because I don't think most people don't understand, like, because I'm in the book is closers, cleaners. What's the first one?
Oh, it's cleaners. That's Michael Jordan.
That's the highest level, like highest Tiger,
and then
Tiger,
closers
Jordan,
under them.
Yeah,
and then coolers under them.
Coolers, yeah. So I don't think there's a very small percentage of the world that are cleaners, and I wouldn't even call myself a cleaner. So I'd be more of a closer. That's like the middle.
Because a cleaner. I remember him saying cleaner is like a lonely life.
So what are these three?
That's like the Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods,
levels
Kobe
of
Bryant.
Success. Levels of success. Like
why cleaner? What's the definition of cleaner?
So example of cleaner is Kobe, Michael Jordan.
Like they'll win and be like
they'll do anything
people
to win.
People will like celebrate and everything, and they're like, yeah, whatever. This is what I was meant to do. What's next?
Yeah, but they'll never be satisfied.
But why the word cleaner? What's behind that?
I remember the example he put was, when you see Michael Jordan come to the games, he's always in a nice clean suit, he's in a nice clean car, he walks in, but he gets dirty. At the end he gets dirty because that's his work. The work ethic he puts into his work, it gets dirty, but at the end it comes out clean. Like that was the meaning around that word.
And then closer, you said closer. What's the?
They're like he put LeBron in that category. Eh? He didn't put him in a cleaner. Because he went to a team to win a championship. He didn't win one on his own, like Kobe and Dwayne Wade and that.
A lot of LeBron fans going to be angry hearing that on
I didn't say it. That's just what it was in the book, Tim Grover. And he was
a cleaner would never do that, eh?
A
cleaner would never do what LeBron did. A cleaner would have stayed with the Cavs.
And won it that way.
And won it there.
Brought someone to him or whatever, did whatever it takes.
Oh, that's right. Because a cleaner, they don't study competition. He lets the competition study him.
Yeah. You're the aggressor. Yeah. And you're the.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. So.
Is it on Audible?
How he puts it down.
Yeah.
No, it's on Audible.
Oh yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it when I get it.
Relentless.
But where I was going with the cleaner thing is that I think most of the world just doesn't. They don't think in that sort of thing.
Because it's a sacrifice.
No one would understand it, so that's why I can see how they're so judgmental on those people because they don't make the sacrifice. They don't understand like what it takes type of thing.
Because they don't even put the family first, eh?
Nah.
The family's second.
Yeah. Everything.
The winning is first. The family comes behind.
All cost. That's why I'm saying I'm not a cleaner. Because I put my family and my faith first. So I'm more of a closer in the middle. Yeah.
But that's what Kobe did actually. Like that's why he was hard with his kids afterwards when he retired because he knew that he lost a lot of time with the fams. So that's why he's hiding with his kids. Yeah. Going to the games and taking them.
Maybe his mentality too was, once my career's over, I'm gonna have the same attitude towards my kids, where I'm gonna be a
exactly
cleaner
exactly
to my kids.
Because you can only be cleaner on one thing.
Yeah.
You can't have two things going.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah. I didn't. It's not I'm sorry, but I didn't quite have that thing. I think I needed to have that to go to the next level, in my footy and stuff. But I think I put like other things first at times when I probably should have just been more selfish, with family and
But
different things like that, you know.
But it's cool you did that because that's a reality check, right? It's knowing what you have to do to go to the next level.
Yeah,
and if you say to yourself, "No, fuck, can't do that," and then that's okay.
Because
that's okay, right?
I made the Auckland team like early on, and then we trained on the Sunday, and I missed church, and I feel so like empty. Then the next week I missed training for it. But if I was a cleaner, I would be like, I'll find a way to go to church another time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, church.
But for me, I was like, oh, nah. Doesn't feel right, you know?
But you're being true to yourself. Though.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You know
and I was
what I mean?
like, yeah.
So, and you know, that's more of a
But I wish I made it.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
Yeah.
But saying that, how much of a cleaner do you think Cameron Smith is? Like, the career he's had, you know, on the top all the time, every
He's
year.
a cleaner.
Nah, he is.
And
because his whole family is, and his wife's from like Queensland and stuff. So they moved like everything. It would have been, because I listened to him on the Matty Johns podcast, and like his missus put up with a lot. You know, looking after their kids on their own. And
when you hear those kind of stories, what the
so
partner has to do,
you know?
what the partner has to go through, when you hear those stories, that you can, he's a cleaner. Eh?
Yeah, because he didn't, you know, they didn't have their grandparents around and the aunties and uncles to help out. It was just because, you know, he wanted to play footy at Melbourne and be successful. So, well, he's definitely a cleaner. Definitely.
I think the and this is a bad example of him being a cleaner, but his vision, like to try and always win, was the time when Alex McKinnon was in that tackle with Jordan McLean.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And Alex McKinnon and his family and everyone else got into Cameron Smith because he was worried about getting the penalty instead of actually, you know, he kind of had to look at the welfare of Alex McKinnon. Remember how he was paralysed after that?
I don't remember it fully,
Yeah. But, you know, he kind of went like this, but, you know, he might be faking and that. And people were like, what a asshole.
He was worried about the game more.
He was worried about getting the penalty, losing the penalty in that, you know? And then it kind of shows, like, you know, in the moment, he's about league.
Yeah.
He didn't, maybe he looked, we know he's right, but then he wanted to win so badly that he was, you know, and then people, remember, everyone hated on him, you know?
But that was a chapter in the book, having a dark side.
Yeah.
You know, cleaners, they have a dark side, and they're not afraid that they can control it.
Yeah.
So, if that was Cameron Smith doing that, that's his dark side. Like, not worrying about the welfare.
Yeah.
Worried about the game. Like, that's dark, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta tap into it.
Yeah. Well, like, another sad thing, I don't know if it's sad, but like with the box, you know, with Zealous, like, I was like, I'm heading towards a possible breakup in my relationship, or do I just, you know, what do I do? And I was like, I want my relationship. But a cleaner, I would have just carried on with the business, right?
Yeah.
I want this gym to be the best it's gonna, you know, in Auckland, New Zealand, whatever it takes, you know. You come along with me.
Yeah.
You know, but I was
that's
like,
the attitude, eh?
Yeah. But I was like, nah, I don't want to put too much stress on, you know, our marriage and our kids and stuff like that. So that's why I don't quite have that, I think. You know,
I think I'm going to say 95% of people would all have the same thing because they place their family and their relationships before, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, like you said, these guys have dark sides, like Michael Jordan, you know. It came out later on that he had girls all over America and he was paying their rent and, you know, he was just going up in city to city. But that was just him, you know. These guys, it's like nothing can touch them, Their mentality is like that, you know. And then
he's crazy.
They're crazy, There's something in there, but you know what? That's why that's what makes them the greatest, you know.
If I hear like, you know, in the last nights, you know, they'll play basketball and then, boom, he's like, he's straight to golf.
Yeah.
And then they're out playing cards and that.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching that, I'm like, what about your kids and stuff? You know, he's just like a single guy,
Yeah.
But that's a cleaner, man. They do what they want to do,
So what they gotta do? So that's a cooler, and then so what's a cooler? So
I forgot, man. But that's the lowest.
Oh, okay, that's the lowest one.
You don't want to be a cooler.
That's like your teammates say.
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember because it was like I don't want to be that.
Oh, okay.
I just remember closer and cleaner, and cooler's like weak. Cooler's pretty much weak. So I'm not weak.
Have you seen the movie The Cooler?
Oh,
no.
It's with William H. Macy. William H. Macy and things. But
I can see the cover. Cooler. I can see the cover.
So the cooler, and so in Las Vegas, or casinos, the superstitious and that. And there's certain people that have this kind of energy. That, if someone's on a hot streak, say someone's winning they get him to go sit near him, and then they start losing. Yeah, because he's like, it's just the energy that he carries in the universe. And there are people like that, they kind of...
In real life.
This is what, and this is, this is a real thing. And I remember looking at it, this can't be true. Yeah. And people do believe, like even how they cater to the Chinese, the way the casinos... like feng shui and all that kind of,
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I said, what's it called? And I looked it up. And I was reading about it. I was going, I know people like that. I mean, there's people who just negative energy it can just bring people down. I don't know if it's just bad luck or...
You could be like happy in the morning. Good morning. And they're like, what's good about this morning?
Yeah.
Or sorry, mate. I was just...
or just when they come into a room, they don't have to say anything. We just bring the energy down. Like, it's funny because... every time I go to casino with some friends, and that, honestly, man, I feel like the cooler because they're like, I'll come and they'll go, bro, here, they'll give me money.
Get away, go away.
Get myself a drink, go stay over there or something like that, and I'm like, I don't mind that because I know. I'm going to go see this guy because I'm thirsty now. I'll run down on the tracks and then he'll go, here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, silly. And buy me a drink too, but you can stand over there somewhere. I'm like, hey, I'm cool, man. I'm getting all now while you guys, trying to win your money back.
It's like when you go out and you're on the super driver or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't want you around there.
Yeah. Well,
you're just hanging out. You're
even like, and they're trying to talk to you, but you're like,
boring.
I'd rather just be sitting in the car.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm a good Sabre driver in the fact that I'll drop you off and I'll go home and I'll pick you up.
Yeah,
but
when you're ready.
But if you went, just wait in the car and we're going to... I'm going to just shut up.
Because sometimes people want to hang out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's not
There's
me.
different type of Sabre drivers there.
That's not me, man. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that... so just text me. Don't worry, I'll be, I'll just go home and sit there or go to someone's house and hang out there. But I'm not the wait in the car while you go and do your little party.
Is that because you're not sociable, not drinking, or?
I just can't. You know what? It's partly that, and I don't like talking to drunk people when I'm sober.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, man. Oh yeah.
Nah, it's
and then,
not good. It's not good.
Drunk people can talk to drunk people.
Yeah.
Hey, drunk people can't talk to sober people because sober people. The point, your point will go over their head. Hey. I watched that movie as well. But I just watched this movie.
Back to the mind. Have you guys seen Limitless,
That's the, what's his name? Bradley Cooper one?
Yeah. That's one of my favorites, man. Where he takes the pill.
Yeah.
And he can fully access his mind and that.
Yeah.
They reckon
there's
a possibility that one day they could, it's called LSD.
Have they figured it out that those are the actual powers you get when you unlock your...
Who knows?
Those brain cells.
What, for
on that
LSD?
Movie? On that movie, Limitless.
Yeah. Man, I loved it, like just the way he could write. He's thinking clear. Wow. So good, And he could read people well. And
that's what I'm saying. Like that thing about when they go and knock his head, all it, it is there. It's the brain's got all that stuff in there. It's just got to find a way to
it's an important point. That's why I try to juggle and use my left hand a little bit. I think I should do some other stuff, but
did you find the juggling has helped you with the way your
it's hard to measure, It's hard to measure, but apparently it's learning new skills and new things. Because when you're young, you're learning a lot. You're school, responsibility. You may be more active and stuff like that. But when you get into work, it's sort of the same thing. So it's maybe a stimulus at first because you're learning the new role. You're learning how everything works. But then after a while, it's not stimulating anymore. So we stop learning. And then that's apparently a part of like Alzheimer's, is when you stop learning. It's a part of a thing. So that's why it's important to keep learning things, to keep working out your brain, basically, like crosswords. Just anything where, playing cards or chess or checkers, where it's just thinking in different patterns and different things like that. So I believe in it, It's just like the muscles, like the brain is a muscle, if you don't work it out, atrophies, gets just a little bit stale and stuff. So especially as you get older and you get bogged down with bills and stresses of life and all that we don't have as much time for it. But it doesn't have to be like a lot, but just something, something to stimulate the mind or whatever. But,
because you came on that guy's podcast, Blow Your Mind.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
What's his name? Will?
Will Fleming.
Will Fleming.
I had him on my one.
Oh yeah.
He's right into it.
I saw his he had a post on Instagram talking about because he's a pop culture guy too.
Yeah.
So he's been watching Loki. Have you been watching that?
Yeah.
The Loki.
No.
Man, that blew my mind. The second episode when when they discovered how that other Loki was hiding. He was hiding in history before apocalypse happened.
Because it was always gonna. It
was gonna wipe clean.
Yeah.
So you could do anything in time at that place. You can change time, whatever. It doesn't matter because the apocalypse will happen at that time and destroy everything. So that's where he hides. Yeah. I thought that was quite smart. I thought that was quite clever. I was like, wow, what is? I was thinking about it. Man, it's
just good writing as well.
Yeah.
But that's that's. I think it's kind of good that they kind of went to those kind of, because Loki was always a bit, as a character, it kind of tries to make him look misunderstood, kind of. So they're trying to paint him in. He's still he's still a bit of a prick, but yeah. What was the last podcast that you?
I heard that you had. Andre Mikhail.
I saw that. So he was the CrossFit guy?
Oh, no, CrossFit, Michael Patterson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those two.
What was the boxer guy? That's what I listened to.
Then I had a CrossFitter guy after that.
Yeah.
I thought of, it's interesting because they were both, I didn't know the second guy they were both in an orphanage in Russia. Both of them. And they were both picked up by New Zealand parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, eh? Both of them. I knew the first, Andre was because, he's, I think my brother told me, he's famous, so it's sort of out there. But Michael, I didn't know that he was from. I think it was maybe the same town, St. Petersburg. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I think Andre was like 18 months, and I can't remember how old Michael was. But they're both Russian. Man, there's something in the water over there, right? And they're both great athletes. They both really excelled. So I think both their parents, wanted to have a family in that, and went over there and adopted some kids. And man, they're doing really well over here. Great opportunities. Apparently, it's pretty rough over there, where they were. So they're put into the orphanage, and they've been given, better life and education and everything like that. So it's really cool.
It's pretty out of how you had both from Russia and you had one episode after the other.
Yeah, I didn't know that with the second guy.
It must have been a common thing, from Kiwis. Adopting kids, orphan kids in Russia.
Yeah, I don't know that, but they're both cool guys. He won his fight recently. He was on the undercard for the
is that Gallon fight? Andre?
Yeah.
He said he went to listen.
Yeah.
He's from Western.
Yeah. He said he was a bit of a rat bag back then, and sort of.
I was cracking up laughing when he said he got beaten up. Oh, he got someone from Whitesec.
Yeah.
Ashed a cigarette on his chest.
Yeah.
And that's what made him go to boxing.
Yeah.
Those people from Whitesec, they like it. Low class, bro.
True. Yeah. So, it was amazing stories, Like, that sort of... But he won his fight, which was really cool, because the guy, Alex Hannon, he gave him a low blow. Like a cheap shot. Oh, no, so not a low blow, a cheap shot. When you go to touch gloves and you hit him in the stomach.
Oh.
But Andre gave him a good hiding. So
he's a New Zealand champion.
Yeah.
Welterweight?
Yeah. Welterweight, yeah. So he went over there. So he's slowly building up into the Aussie, building his way up into around the world sort of thing, But no, he's awesome, man. He's doing really well.
Do you think he's a cleaner?
I think he is,
Yeah.
He works with my brother. That's how I found out about him. I'd never heard of him. My brother said, I work with a boxer. He's a New Zealand champ. But I thought it was eats. I was like, oh, you know, guys, you go to school and they go, oh, box and stuff like that. Golden gloves, like, oh, yeah, whatever, man. I thought it was one of those ones. But then my brother's booked one of his fights on TV. So we watched it. I was like, oh, no, this guy's actually legit. I was like, oh, can you connect me? I'll get him on the podcast. Because the commentator said was going to interview him. And she asked him some question. And he just started singing a song. They stopped believing. And I was like, wow, this guy's the man. And that's cleaner sort of attitude. Like, I say what I want to say and, you know, that type of thing. And I love that song as well. So I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's, he's got something special. So I'll try to get him on if he's
What gym is he fighting out of?
He fights with Peach. Yeah. He bounced around a bit and couldn't find quite a good place for him, good coaching. And so, but he's really happy where he is at with the Peach crew. I don't know too much.
He's with the other kid, Jerome. He went to Custom Boys.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, that, what's his name? Sam and Austin.
Yeah, Stan mate.
But that was cool. It was good to get the first boxer on there. But yeah, he works full time, and then he trains like in the morning. He does a run, and then he does his boxing stuff in the afternoons, and then he's full time with his family and stuff. So it's pretty big days. But I guess that's what you got to do, eh? It's part of the story.
Well, you know, with those individual sports, you do have to have a certain kind of discipline.
Yeah.
Because you can't kind of fall off because, you know, in a team situation, you can kind of you're just playing, or you can just play a role, or you can be the main guy. But if you're in an individual sport like boxing or wrestling or tennis, and that's just you know?
Yeah. Well, I've observed that too since I've been getting back into coaching basketball and sports in general. I noticed that it's better. The kids that usually come from an individual background are usually better. Not always, because they're more motivated. They're a little bit tougher. They're used to working hard. Like you said, you can hide in team sports, and you can play rugby or whatever and barely touch the ball for 3 years, or barely make a tackle. But if it's just you, like whatever, boxing or swimming or tennis, you have to do a lot of work. It's just you. So I'm like, so that's what I'm gonna do with my kids, get them into individual sports. So look after yourself, develop yourself. So then when you get into a team environment, you can contribute. You're not like, people looking at you like, what are you adding to the team? Because then the parents just like, my kid, what are you doing? But it's like you gotta develop them, through individual sports and training and stuff. Oh, that's what I believe anyway.
No, it makes sense. Hey.
But I think it was a little bit more ingrained before because kids used to play on the streets and stuff, play a lot more in general. So they would get that individual thing from just playing games in the backyard or with their brothers and sisters and cousins and stuff. So you're getting a lot of development, running up and down the road and playing tiggy and bull rush and all that. You're working your agility and speed and all that, but you don't even know. Yeah. But the less that our kids are playing that and go into sports, they have less of a foundation of fitness and speed and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of those things are very important, for the individual kid getting into something.
I remember when we had Sifel here.
Yeah,
he's talking about training his son.
Yeah,
because he how he coaches basketball too.
Yeah,
and how his son's up there.
Yeah,
going to America schools and doing that.
Well,
doing scholarship and that. I remember him saying, "Man, if I was training the kids I train, like I train my son, I'll get arrested."
Yeah.
So it speaks to like what level what kind of things you've got to go through to be on that top level.
Yeah.
And if parents even understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't want to be at the top level, but just like even if you just enjoy the game more, if like say it was us three and two others, if we're all contributing as opposed to just relying on you two or the other two, So, but each individual has to hold their own. Their role, whether you're a rebounder or a stealer, or if you're not working on your craft in some way, then you don't enjoy the game as well. So I think, I'll encourage anybody, or them with their kids to work on their kids individually, as well as in the team environment, not to rely on the coaches always only.
You know, we're talking about people developing and becoming or evolving in that. I'm just kind of laughing because the Ben Simmons slander at the moment, you know what I mean? And it kind of,
I feel sorry for him.
You know, but it's kind of like, because my brother, he put up a status on Facebook like, he's gonna mock Ben Simmons, but he's got the money and all that. And I think the slander isn't directed at. It's directed more about him not evolving as a player because he's a max.
Right, yeah.
He's a max player, so he's on 177 over 5 years, 177 million. And you knew what he was like when he came in. You knew he was. He's defensively, he's one of the best players in the league.
All defensive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bro, his assists, and he's got hops and that. But I think why people were getting angry was like if you looked at the stats over the last. I mean, there was games he shot the ball 3 times. Hey, 3 or 4 times, and I think people just got angry because he didn't contribute. You know what I mean? Because you know what you get from him. He's going to get the rebounds,
but not as much as they wanted.
He could have put himself out there. You know what I mean? And I think that's why people got Well, I remember people getting angry, and or not angry, but they were having a go at him, and I can understand where they were coming from, but you shouldn't try and give him a pass for not actually helping out the team, because his teammates were probably looking at him like, the best example is when he went down on the block, he turned around and he had he could have dunked it. It's not like Trae Young was going to come over and block him with his help defense. But he passed it up, and that's a poor dude, man. That's a mental thing, and it probably just all came down on him, and then
because he's a closer.
Yeah.
He's not a cleaner. He's not a cleaner.
He's a closer.
Embiid is a cleaner because he's a dark hole once he gets the ball.
Yeah.
He ain't passing the ball.
Yeah.
Unless it's a triple.
And he talks trash, and he's ruthless.
He's a man.
Yeah.
I like Embiid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Ben Simmons thing. I was talking to my brother. He's a big basketball head, and he was saying it's the New Zealand and Aussie thing.
Mentality?
Yeah, like not many like cleaners have come out in history. We're too nice. We're not like that cold-hearted killers sort of thing.
Yeah.
Close out the game, give me the ball. We're good team players. Run into a system and do your role type of thing, but not like give me the ball. Like who's been like
How about that rugby players though? Like say someone like Dan Carter.
Yeah, we've got that in rugby.
Or Richie McCaw.
Yeah. Just not in basketball. Because I was talking to the New Zealand, because I went to a clinic, New Zealand basketball, the women's coach. He was saying that in the men's they've had maybe a few. I think he said Phil Jones, Kirk Penny, and I think maybe Corey Webster. Like they can shoot the lights out, miss, but just still back themselves.
They still believe in
But other guys, they'll miss and then sort of fade out. So like that Ben Simmons, he's sort of like that. And then he says in the girls, he's still looking for someone that's like that. Like they're all really good players, good team players, but I need someone to really like take over.
Yeah.
And I think Ben Simmons, in my opinion, falls into that category where he's a good team player. Yep. He's going to do a role. Even like Scottie Pippen, like he's a legend.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a cleaner, really. Like.
Yeah.
Like Jordan,
I think the problem when you're on that stage is that, like anything, your faults will be they're highlighted, they'll be, and I think the thing about, I saw Scottie Pippen, he said something today, how he said that Kevin Durant needed to work on a few things, and LeBron was still greater than him because he needs to learn how to be a winner and go through stuff. And in my head I went, but Scottie, you had the chance, He had the chance with Michael Jordan, and he did. And he played really well, but, They
lost to New York.
They lost, of course. But there's that game, Scottie came back and he done all those great things. He led them to, I think, one of the best records in the East that year, And he was having an MVP type year, but that year's going to be defined by Scottie setting out that, you know, he didn't go back on the court, you know?
And then Kukoc won the game for him.
Yeah, and then when that's right. But, you know, when he said, I'll do it all over again, you know, and I thought, I wish Scotty would have just said, yeah, maybe I did make a mistake, you know, I should have, you know. But his mentality, but his mentality was, then we would not have, I don't think Michael would have come back, or we would have been going through all these kind of things and that. You know, so I was like, you know.
No excuses was the clean eye.
They've
got no excuses there. They don't have any excuses.
Yeah.
And they don't, the other thing that was cool that I heard about the cleaner was, they don't celebrate, eh?
They move on.
Because it's not enough.
Yeah, it's never enough.
Even if they reach the top, there's still some more to be reached.
They'll like win the championship, celebrate for 2 hours, and be like, what's next?
Yeah, what's next? Like, there's nothing that will
satisfy them.
Wow, see, that's crazy.
And they'll never talk them up, themselves up.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll never advertise what their achievements.
Yeah. But I think. Yeah, I agree. Like Ben Simmons could have stepped up more, but I don't think he's a closer, cleaner. But yeah, definitely could have stepped up more.
Well, the fans were expecting, you know.
I think
if you're talking about that kind of player, like
he's 15
all-star.
in the game. He's still not even you know.
I think he's like 20. He's 23. Yeah, 23, 24. So he's still.
I think he was 20.
No, I mean, in terms of points a game.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too far off.
Well, he went from averaging, was it 15?
Yeah, 15, yeah.
And then that series he averaged 6 points.
Yeah, so that's terrible, yeah. So if he got his 15 and his 8, rebounds, he would have been all right. But yeah, that's not enough.
But he was 0 from the field from the last 4 games in the fourth quarter.
But I still think he's the guy to keep.
Oh, yeah, me too, man.
His height,
he's got all the
young,
natural attributes, man. And I want him to succeed because he's from our neck of the wall. You know, he's from Australia, but still, you know.
I still think he's the man, but he definitely.
It's always been up here, eh?
Whatever they got to do to get his head right.
Well, it's funny when you see me that Nick Anderson. That
once he missed the free throw?
Yeah. And it affected him for the rest of the you know, and I feel sorry because man, I remember
he was the man before that.
Was the man, bro. He had the hops and.
But I hope they don't trade him. They hope they keep him and Embiid and work around that still because I think they got a mean team, and I hope they win it one day. I don't actually go for Philly, but I just like when the team wins that has 2 drafted players.
Yeah.
And they
stayed.
They worked their way through.
They stayed with the process.
Yeah. They trusted the process.
Yeah. And I hope so.
You know,
I
the
do.
2 draft picks, they didn't buy the team.
That's right.
I don't think the fans will like it though.
Huh?
The Philly fans, because they're one of the.
What a greater story if they come back and win.
Because you hear they're the kind of like worst fans, eh? Like they're the real.
Yeah, they are. They're like New York fans.
Yeah, like hard out loyal
Boston fans.
Well, LeBron was like that too when he didn't play that well for Miami. A little bit, was it Miami?
Oh, what, that first year they lost to Dallas?
I think so. He was pretty quiet in the playoffs and stuff like that. So, that could be just one of
that would be
learning years.
That would be an amazing story. Yeah. And you want people to succeed. So I hope, and that you're right. That would be the great, like if they come back next year, maybe they make a good trade. Yeah. Not those 2, but, they bring in a good, who let them down for me and they're not going after him enough is Tobias Harris. He let them down, man. There was that game I was talking to this guy about. It was the game where they came back from when Atlanta came back from 26 down, and about 3 or 4 minutes to go, and he makes a bad pass and he misses a shot, and and it just zooms in on him, and you just see his face, and you go, oh, he's gone. You know what I mean? You go, this guy's given up.
Yeah.
And he done the exact same thing. He goes for a shot. So Joel Embiid, he passes it to him. He dribbles, tries to get it, and he passes it, and there's like only 2 seconds left on the thing. Like he's rattled, and you could see it in his face. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this what you cross him off because he's not going to contribute to the rest of this.
I wonder if they have. I'm sure they should. They have like some sort of mental performance coach on the sideline or something.
Well, they must
have. Surely, yeah. Surely.
Because I like...
Because just to get their heads right and things aren't going right, I'll help them out.
Because I like Tobias Harris, man. I like the way he plays.
Yeah, and some, just all the guys, if they have a bad game, just help them, encourage them. And because it's everyone knows the money, it's big, but it's still tough. Getting yelled at and, sworn at and all the social media negative stuff. That'd be pretty tough to take, so I think it'd be good for them.
Well, you know what? Okay, I think you've got a real valid point. Like, how amazing would it be next year if Philly make it and Ben Simmons is the MVP of the finals or something? You know, that just be amazing for him, and just showing that mentally, if you just can get that stuff out. Then.
Well, did you watch the Celtics versus Lakers 30 for 30?
Oh yes, the 2-part one.
Yeah. So there's a part in there where Magic, he's drafted, and he's the second guy, early on in his career, because Kareem's still there. But there's a point after a few seasons, he's a bit quiet in the playoffs. So it happens.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Pat Riley. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He pulls him aside. He's like, next year you're the guy. We need you to step up and score more. And it just clicked from then, and that's when Magic sort of became Magic, and created his own thing more, as opposed to being, the playmaker, just owning more of that.
Yeah.
And I think Simmons will come into that whenever that time is right. Whether the coach pulls him aside or it's like you need to step up, you're our guy,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I hope so. I hope he can.
Was Magic known as a scorer? Because he was assists. He racked up assists. It was similar. He's similar to Ben Simmons.
Yeah. There was some seasons and like after his first few where he scored a lot, and then as he slowed down, he started to go back to his old role of more passing and being more well-rounded.
I think we associate Magic with passing because his passing was so spectacular. But he was a scorer too.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, I was watching all that stuff and I see him dunking in that. I'm like, him and Larry Bird. I'm like, that's right, they could dunk. That's right. They're actually 6'10", so they should be able to dunk.
Yeah.
But yes, Larry's. When you see Larry Bird dunk, you know, oh yeah, that's a Balingi dunk. The little front down, the two hands like that.
That Larry Bird, I reckon he's one of the most underrated guys out there. When you watch that series, he's so clutch, man.
I don't think this.
He's a cleaner.
I don't think this generation, the younger generation, really appreciate how great Larry Bird was. He was a cleaner, bro. How confident he was. How confident he was.
Yeah.
And I think he walked past the bench and he was like, I feel like scoring 45 points. I'm like, hey. He goes, well, how much do you want me to beat you by? And it's just always mental,
in your mind, in your head.
Yeah.
But that's Fear's favorite player.
Oh yeah, Larry,
Larry Bird, single.
Yeah.
I think in the book he talks about Larry Bird too. Like
does he?
When he when he was winning those 3-point competitions at All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Like he'll go to all the contestants.
Yeah.
So which one of you is coming second?
Yeah, that's right. I remember that quote too.
I used that line because we had our work party.
Yeah.
And we were going Tim bowling.
Oh yeah.
And, we had a few drinks and stuff before that.
Yeah.
And then I walk on the bus and I said that and it just went dead quiet because no one knew what I was talking about. And like heaps of them aren't competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sorry guys.
For you,
I was like, who are y'all coming as? The funny thing is, I came second.
Hey, you know when you said like maybe it's a New Zealand and Australian thing when we talk about Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Do you think it's got to do with that tall poppy syndrome?
Yeah, definitely.
Has he?
Probably that.
I hope
a few
not.
other things. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I mean, he's
it's
in a
probably
big
a
market.
combination of things, but everyone's like, oh, what a hard out guy and all that sort of stuff. Plays on you a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Oh man,
and there's probably like a little bit like born with it as well, like a cleaner thing.
Maybe just his nature. Sometimes you can't force.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not his nature. Yeah. So it's probably a bit of the New Zealand Aussie thing and just a part of who he is.
It's funny how we were talking about cleaners and that. And he said Larry Bird's one. Remember that scene in The Last Dance when him and Michael Jordan, they go meet up after the game?
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, F you, man.
Yeah.
And it just shows what they're like. They love each other, but they hate it. Like,
And
And
they're walking in
there. And he goes, go F yourself or something like that. And I go, yeah, man, that's cleaners for you. They recognize each other, bro. Yeah. That's the way like Kobe could talk the way he could because to other people, like if you are on the same mental plane as him, it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
He's just swearing because that's how competitive. Hey, but you crack up, and people are like, "Why you talk to Larry Bird?" Nah, man, that's how serious they are, right?
Well, someone put up an Instagram post of Larry Bird. I can't remember the game, but someone hits like a clutch shot for Indiana when he's coaching.
Oh, he doesn't even smile.
And everyone, the crowd.
That's the Richie Miller one. That's the Richie Miller one.
Yeah, crazy, and he's just like stone cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to repost it, but I can't find it. But Because that's sort of like the Zealous state of mind sort of thing.
Yeah. Because you haven't won the series.
Yeah.
So why?
There's still time.
No,
there's still
It's
time.
only game 4.
That's why he was.
Because it's only game 4. We haven't won the series.
No. The reason why he was like that because they ran the play where he was supposed to run it down more, but there was still 1.4 seconds, and he was pissed off. He said, if you'd run the play properly, they wouldn't have a chance to.
Well,
they still got Michael Jordan. You know, that's his mentality.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to celebrate.
Well, he hit game winners himself.
That's how he knows.
Like, I hit second.
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah. And you know that shot, he hit Michael Jordan, you know, it goes in.
Yeah.
And it rattles twice and it goes out.
Yeah.
So that could have been, you know, and then he would have been, looked at this, why are you jumping up and down when you shoot you, but you know.
So,
but no, that's a valid point, man. And like other coaches, they're jumping up and down and that. And he's like, man, you know, I know, there's a cleaner on the other side. You know, it's funny thing, there's a wolf on the other side. And, you know, any team of that guy on the other side, I'm not celebrating until it's all zeros on the clock, you know.
Yeah.
It's also the ability to block out the noise too.
Like
social media or people talk and worried about what people think. Worried about people think that's the main one that kills it. Because we do have this tall poppy syndrome because we worried about what people think because people talk.
Yeah.
And that's probably why your brother said there's not many cleaners that come out of New Zealand because of the tall poppy syndrome. You know, we're always worried about what people think.
Yeah.
We don't get down, focus, block it out, and just have our goal in front of us and just go for it.
Yeah. Well, like I coach my team, man. They're all lovely boys, nice, cool kids, but like no one's like really aggressive or like Well, even in our trial, I had like 20 something kids, and no one was really like fire. I think I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but I feel like the kids are getting less like fiery, Well, now, there will always be some. There always will be, because that's just sort of genetic or family and stuff. But in general, I feel like the number of competitiveness is going down.
Do you think it's the mentality that we have? It's more about participation?
Yeah.
We're giving out certificates for coming last in that. You know, so people like, and then if you're a person that kind of shows that you have a mentality, like a really competitive attitude,
they look at you funny.
The other parents will be like this, hey, kind of turn it down.
Yeah. Well, we're at the Blues, and my brother's pretty vocal.
Yeah.
And he was saying, and we're getting looks. And but it was cool because there was a few other people around us that were Blues. Yeah. They were vocal too. So that it made us not look like we're savages, because there was others that were.
See,
but if it wasn't them around, we would have been like, these guys are crazy.
See that comment that you made, and we're talking about how the crowd numbers are going down and that kind of stuff, and participation wise. See that how you just said you went to a game and you're trying to cheer on your team and you're getting looks like, hey,
calm down.
There's people here. Yeah. Back in the days, man, if you looked at all those crowds, you could. There's people being offended by stuff, or having to check what you say. What you say. If you're watching a game and you're getting really vocal, man, you're just showing how as long as you don't cross the line of whatever race, sexuality, or if you're not crossing the line and you're just going for your team, why can't we do that anymore? New Zealand crowds are boring.
They're
boring. Hey, you're talking about it. If you like the college sports and all that, American sports. Oh, the guy who's Sons and Four
guy,
and the guy he's a celebrity now, and all he did was try and he had a fusu and showed his back, and it became everyone started loving him. Problem is, everyone thought that now that we're all going to start fusuing now, and then start having themselves in that. But it just shows how vocal, or there is, New Zealand we can't say we crossed the line because we're so under the line. There's no way to cross it. Hey. Americans, they always go there or thereabouts, from the fans dropping the popcorn on Russell Westbrook or, stuff like that, or abusing Trae Young's dad, that's the New York fans.
Yeah. You get the vocal fans at the Warriors games.
Yeah. Well,
but league's different name.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's us, the hard work, the workers and all that. Rugby's very corporate. Especially if you're going to. All Blacks game, only rich Barleys can afford $90 tickets and $10 beers, know. So
you got to watch what you got to say in corporate world, and then watch what you say in the game. It sort of filters down, I
remember, man. So my brother, before he moved to Australia the first time, he's a Bulldogs through and through, but he had Warriors season tickets because he loved the sport of I just love the sport of league. So we went and watched this. We'd go watch Warriors games, but I would always would crack up. I'll just sit there because my brother's one of those guys, real vocal, so he'll say a line, and everyone will crack up, you know.
Yeah.
So when he started getting to it, then everyone else would start getting to it. So
well, I think that's what it was like for us.
Yeah. So everyone else is going in, so there's being as vocal in that, and it's only because one guy, him saying his little funny lines, of, "Oh, come on there, Bowen," some kind of, Valère line and that, and people would go, you'd hear people laugh, and then someone else would say it, and then everyone would follow suit. And the problem is, if someone says something and then people are like, "Hey, don't say that, that's racist." "Oh, well, I just said go blue." Go black. Something like that. No. Let's use the PC term, please.
Crips.
Yeah. But, it's so true now, I think the closest thing we get is probably the basketball crowds where you can actually take the clapper things and all the, you have to chant along with the person, with the MC and that. So, because you're kind of, you can have a chance to be vocal. But all these other sports, man.
I mean,
boring.
when you went to America for your exchange,
you
went to sports games over there and you saw the crowds. How they
it was mainly like local, like school games and stuff.
Oh, even the local games, you saw how the crowd are and how vocal they are and how into it they are. And
it was fun. It's more. I guess because it's like more community. It's like family and friends, so it is more vocal. But I guess the professional thing is a different vibe, because it's more corporate and stuff. There's less family and friends. They're more fans, so the fans aren't as. But you got mum and dad and uncle over there. He's pretty fired up, and they're more vocal. So it was more. But the rugby and stuff like that is still, good over here. First 15 and that.
Oh yeah, you see it on those.
So on the grassroots, it's probably better crowds.
Yep.
Because it's family and friends and everyone's connected.
Especially at the club game, because that's
cool.
The community.
I love watching the first 15 and the Premier basketball and stuff. That's really cool because it's family and friends.
Yeah.
And maybe old coaches or stuff like that. So
old students,
right into
old,
it.
Old people's,
But with the fans and stuff, it's not as you're not as invested. Maybe some of them are, but probably not as in general. But so the competitive thing. But I think I've sort of accepted it, and it's just like how it's a technology age. Instead of trying to fight against it, trying to think like, what can I do to work with it? Because I think I was complaining before, but I was like, that's not really helping.
Complaining about?
I was just, not complaining, just getting annoyed.
Yeah.
That people are kids and stuff, and I wasn't as competitive. But it's like, that's not really helping. Like, just trying to figure out how I can get the best out of them.
Yeah.
It's not really doing anything.
So
I'm just being negative,
You've got to try and find a way to...
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah.
Right, so
okay, well...
how are these kids thinking? Why are they thinking like this? And what can I do to bring out...
Yeah.
What are they into now? Like, they're into different things. And maybe use technology to my advantage.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out.
Yep.
But that's the way I've shifted
you might be
my
onto
mentality.
Something. Once you figure it out, start a program, you go to other schools and go to other teams.
Figure it out. Yeah. Like, because my boys are real, nice with the... Like, I'll try to crack jokes and stuff, and no one laughs and stuff, and just try to get the energy. So sometimes if we're short one, I'll jump on and just talk trash, and that sort of works.
Yeah.
And then they're like, block me or something, and they're like, see, so they'll talk, but they don't do it to each other. I need one or two of them to be that guy to start it off in training, so then that filters to the other boys, and then they talk trash to each other and bring out that competitive nature and I'm not going to let this guy have it over me.
Yeah.
They'll let someone score or do and they don't fight back about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were that's a nice shot.
It was like,
hey, man.
Yeah.
I remember this
do something about it, I heard this thing, I thought it was on a Power Athlete podcast. It was John Wilborn who was saying that the ultimate insult was I think they were playing someone and someone said, you guys are so nice, you could date my sister. But but that's not a good thing if you're in competition. You're supposed to be a savage, in a clean way, not dirty. It's you wouldn't want to be called a nice guy in a sport like that. It's that guy's annoying. I don't want to be. His defense is, he's all over me and he's a pest. He's always, that's you want to hear that, not he's a nice guy. You could take my sister,
I remember reading early, and I'll try and find it. There's this. In Rugby League Week, David David Solomona. I think he was over at the Sydney Roosters, and he must have made a hit up, and someone hit him. And I can't remember. I was a Hindmarsh or someone, and then he got up and he goes to the guy, "Oh man, nice tackle," and the guy looked at him like, "What the hell? We're playing first grade league, and I just smashed you and just said nice thing," and he looked like confused, but that's the island mentality, like, oh, hey, good on you, also, man, mean hit.
Yeah.
But it showed the two, this was there, but this just showed the two difference between the Australian mentality and the New Zealand mentality. We're like, we were just playing because we love it. These guys, they're just so cutthroat, and, he was caught off guard by this guy acknowledging that he had made a mean tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though David Solomon was one of the hardest running guys, and when he hit you, down, Dave's mentality was, it must have been new to these kind of guys. These Australians when they're growing up.
Man.
You
see the, was it Gutherson and Mitchell Moses?
That's right. When they're having that.
Yeah. So, like, I played one game, New Zealand 16s, we played against Parramatta, and one of the first things we noticed, because we got a good start, we lost though, but anyway, we were scoring against them early on, and they were underneath the post, like, swearing at each other. And we were like, after the game, we're talking about the game and stuff. I'm like, man, the Aussies, they guys are swearing at each other and stuff, eh? But like us, man, if like someone swore, we would have a fight or something. They talk to me like that, So we would take it real personal, as opposed to like, all right, I just got to do my job better, or I was a bit lazy, just, from a defender, I should have gone across, or whatever it is, Then we take it to heart, as opposed to like, just do your job better,
Yeah, like I think that mentality of those Australians is like, stays on the field. So, they're trying to, if they're doing it, it's because they're telling you,
it's for the team.
Get this here. If I was asking, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to, I'll see you in the team. Kind of thing. Those guys, that shows how, and you see with Michael Jordan, those guys, they're so competitive that they, Michael Jordan's mentality was, I'm going to rip into you because I want you to come up to
see it like
my
that
level.
It's nothing personal.
Yeah. And some people take it the other way. Oh man, they make it personal. I think that might be the difference between how those guys are always excelling in.
He said Steve Kerr, they're the punch up.
Yeah.
Practice.
But he got his respect. He got his respect because he fought back, and that's all he was trying to get.
Yeah.
That's why he was always picking on Scott Burrell, because he knew Burrell had all the talent and all that attributes. But he just didn't have that mentality.
Yeah, to fight back. That's what I'm saying with the guys.
Yeah.
They'll let something happen and then just take it.
Yeah,
I want them to fight each other back.
Yeah.
Not in a punch-up, but just like, I'm going to lock you down next time.
Fire them up, eh?
But I'm like, how could you just take that? You just scored on me like 4 times in a row.
It's
like, I don't know.
Is it because of, like I was saying, like, if you do try and show a bit of aggression, people are like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah, you get that.
So it's just fun,
But
that would be a cooler saying that.
Yeah. So we just played. What a serious guy. And then you feel better.
But really, that's the wrong message, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
If you're a cleaner and you're young, and that happens, that's the wrong message for a guy like you, eh?
Yeah.
I stopped playing.
Damn.
Like, we're playing and pick up a basketball, touch or tag, and then it starts to get to that. I just start taking off my boots and stuff. Because usually it starts off like hard out. And then towards the end, if it gets like that, I'm like, all right, it's time to go now. Because I don't know, it just feels boring. Like if you score a try, but it's because they're sort of mucking around. It's not really. Doesn't feel real.
It takes away from
the
day.
It doesn't feel like you beat them on my. My speed or something, my footwork, or like it's not really, doesn't feel right. Like, and even like we beat this team and they were pretty rubbish, but like, it's cool. It's always good to win. I'm happy to win, but they're like celebrating hard. I'm like, but like, they weren't that good.
Yeah, that's right.
But then we beat a team recently that were good, and I was happy because we had to battle for it. That's what you want, eh? When you have to battle for it, the other game was a little bit too easy. Like it wasn't anything to celebrate about.
It's like the Masha Griffith song, that Children of Israel. There's a line where she says, the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Yeah, that's what I said. The last game was good because it was a hard game.
That's right. Because you're gonna appreciate it more. Man, we had to reach down and pull everything out.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you win by 50, 60 points. You go, oh, you know, you didn't really work for it. You know, you can't celebrate those. Yeah. I mean, you can, but man, you'd appreciate like a you know, when you watch a game and it's a field goal. You're involved the whole game because it's taken a whole team effort in that. You know, you'd rather watch those games than a 50-6.
Well, the hiding's there.
50-6 dropping.
Man, I remember when I went to watch my younger cousin's game. He played first 15 for Custom Boys, and I remember me and Danny we went to watch him.
Yeah.
And I forgot who they played against, but the other team scored a try straight away, like in the first 5 minutes, and then the kid that scored the try is running back, and he's screaming, "Man, these guys ain't nothing."
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was like, "Ooh, this guy."
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, I was thinking, "Yeah, man,
that's right.
That's the kind of attitude you need, man."
Yeah.
You know that, and you can see his boys when running back, they're all hyped up when he said that.
Well, their confidence would have picked up.
Yeah.
Oh man, they fear these guys because you know.
But they end up losing. They got wasted at the end. But that little bit of that comment when hyped this team, and I could see the boys running back.
Oh yeah,
fired up.
Damn man, come on boys, these guys ain't nothing. But and that, you know, I remember that. It stuck with me, like you know, because it's cool.
You always need one or two guys in the team that you're
have out and out
Hargreaves sort of guys. Yeah. Put up a big hit or talk a bit of smack or do something like that.
Yeah.
Get the guys going. So yeah, it's going to be interesting with my girls, So we'll see how we go with the new environment in the world and stuff like that. It's scary. It's scary, but I don't know. It is what it is, With
having a young family and
trying to
navigate in this world, because you see, I think a lot of just the changes. You know, we talk about the environment at the schools and this kind of PC kind of world that's going on, and you kind of hope that the world doesn't go what you fear it going down the wrong, going too extreme, because it's pretty extra woke these days.
One of the things I've noticed at school is a lot of the TikTok, and I think a lot of the girls need attention. I don't know if it's because their parents are busy, like working and trying to make a living, or I don't know. But validation,
Well, isn't that what TikTok?
Attention.
But that's what TikTok.
Do you reckon it's making them want it more? I don't know. I just noticed they want attention all the time.
But I was talking like that thrill you get and then you've got to try and keep feeding that kind of it's an addiction, you know.
So maybe it transfers into normal life too, because I know there's a lot of because I've got daughters, I really pay attention now.
Oh, okay.
I probably didn't before.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see, but so for me as a father, I've got to give my daughters a lot of attention, otherwise they'll seek it elsewhere. Yeah. You know, whatever that is. Because I noticed they need a lot. They're quite needy, They're quite, and then the boys, man, it's naughty, naughty.
Yeah.
Swearing and it's... I mean, that is always good. I don't want to sound negative, doom and gloom. Just some observations. There's a lot of awesome kids, like I said, with my basketball boys and stuff like that. We were respectful in that. But there's probably a little bit more not into the sports as much as well. A lot of them are sort of just hanging out.
Yeah.
Man, you should keep getting involved, man. You know, before you finish school, whatever you're into, you know, sign up, get involved, be a part of the school and the community. You know, your parents come down and stuff. Instead of just going to school and not, you know, getting involved in something.
Do you think it's because there's more stuff to do, like more extracurricular activities outside of school? Like, you know, there's music and there's...
They're just playing games.
Oh, yeah.
Playing games, social media.
Because, they don't really... You can still, with the thing about playing games online is that you're still interacting with people, but just not physically,
But the boys need to run around.
That's right.
Get their energy out and get physical and have a laugh, man. They love it. When they do, you see it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they notice how good it is for them.
Yeah. Or how beneficial it can
Sometimes they'll play around, like, because I walk around at lunchtime, sometimes on duty or whatever, and like I love it today, man. It was a sunny day, so there's like the basketball courts, man, packed with the boys, just running around playing, man. I love seeing it, eh? You know, kids playing handball. I think they need that, and when they do it, and it sort of stays inside, and then it comes out in different ways. But and I just try to encourage the kids to do, you know, whatever they're into, anything. Whereas cricket, tennis, basketball.
I think sports is a
you need it, eh?
Sports is a good one.
It's connection as well. It's probably real life connection, you know?
And it's probably the only activity you could do that you're not in front of a screen and you're interacting with other people.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're planning with people. You're strategizing with your teammates. You're interacting with them. You're talking with them. You're communicating. You know, you're being physical with them. Yeah. You know, and you're doing this in like an hour. You know, hour of pure interactions. Yeah. And then you go home and then you on your phone or on your iPad for the whole night. You know?
But then it develops, you know, resilience because you get ups and downs, and you know, you might not make the team. But, I'm gonna train harder to get back in the team or get into the starting lineup. I've been on the bench a few weeks, so you have those sort of things, and then internal problems in the teams, which is pretty natural. It's a part of communication and compromise, and all these things that come with the group that. You got to get ready for life, whether you go to work or whatever business. It's going to be the same things. But going back to the kids, like got to do stuff early because I noticed in high school, if you're too far behind in your sports and stuff like that, if you go to join a team, if you're too far behind, you won't want to play. You know. But if you've been playing like in primary and intermediate, you slot in. But if you've been inactive those years and then you go, I want to play. I don't know play touch now, and it's like, it's gone too fast now. You know, I'm not up to touch. I'm not up to speed where I used to be, or baseball, or cricket. It's like, oh man, I can't see the ball as well as I used to.
I thought that's why we have PE, so we can get those basic skills.
Is PE still like a big thing in college?
Yeah, is it?
I've been to a few PE classes. It was pretty cool.
But is it still compulsory?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's good. But you can sort of hide again, remember? Because it's a group.
Yeah.
You know, you have the 2 or 3 from each team. If you're playing a game, that will hog most of the stuff. Yeah. And then the other 2 or 3 that are, or 8 or whatever, that are sort of just floating around. That's why I think you got to do some individual work-ons sort of thing, you know?
I remember well because I played basketball in high school, and then I joined the volleyball team.
Oh yeah.
Because you know you can transition over because of the jumping in that, and plus Samoans always play volleyball. But I found that those guys that they were playing, they were like more advanced. Yeah, and I was like behind, so I just had one training.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to keep going because if you go to high school and you haven't been playing for so long, you're like, oh no, I'm too far behind now, you know, and then you end up doing nothing, and then you're missing a big part of the school.
Well, and the other thing is, like, you know, you've got to feel for kids where, you know, they didn't really, like, they never found a sport that they liked. But then maybe around 3rd form, 4th form, they discover a game like basketball. So they, oh man, I want to go play ball. But, they've got to start from scratch.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? And but the guys that have already playing, they've been playing since, their parents have been taking them since they were 5 years old. So they know all the, the
basics and
the basics and that. And you've got to come up to speed. So, you know, the other thing is you hope that there's places out there that you can go to and be brought up to speed, you know. Because club, you know, another thing about going to try and play club is that those guys, those clubs, those teams have been together for ages too. So you've got to.
That's why I'm saying you got to do it early.
You've got to. You've got to try and build some, like not self-confidence, but know that, oh man, I've got to work. I've got to bring myself up to speed. You know,
the kids got to do some homework because it's only an hour. And if you've got, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 kids, I can't the coach can't focus on one kid.
Yeah.
Bringing them up to
That's
speed.
right. Yeah. So that's unfair, eh?
Yeah.
So that's how people fall through the cracks, you know?
But you know, us when we were young, like we'll play basketball on weekends after school. Go to Starling Park.
Yeah, stuff like that. You need to do that.
Like, that's what we did.
Like you've really clocked up some hours, you know?
But it wasn't really focused training. It was just street ball.
No, but you know, if you go and the coach, you can shoot a little bit, you can make some laps. You know, that's something that they can build on. But if you just come in cold, it's like, oh man, he can barely catch a ball.
Yeah.
It's a different thing to someone who, you know, plays a couple of hours on the weekends and stuff. That's still a big deal, you know. But yeah, not even just sports, just the other groups as well, whether you're into the Polynesian groups or the other international groups. It's pretty cool at school, like the chess club. Walk past, there's a chess club lunchtime and different groups. So yeah, you got to get involved in stuff, eh?
Yeah.
You know, just to get that connection.
What have you noticed? Like, do you notice there's more activities for kids at school?
Yeah, there's a lot
now?
of cool stuff. Yeah, yeah. The school does a lot of good things for the kids, and there's options and that.
What's something that you've noticed that you didn't have back at school? Like, what's one you went, hey, they're actually encouraging this at school now. Like, you know, chess club, you know.
Yeah, that
back in my days. Like, I know it's at Liston it was a big thing.
We had chess club.
Yeah. So we had hobbies. We had a hobbies.
It's packed there.
Yeah, every Thursday, you know, you'd get a list of things like, okay, what do you want to do for your hobbies? And I remember my cousin John, or my brother John, and him and my mate Tui and they put down chess. And they wanted to learn, and you go past and you go, hey, well, look at these guys, got my chess and that. And then you realise, you know, nah, man, you know, chess is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good for your mind. And these guys technically and all that.
Chess is the best game, man.
Yeah.
Best ball game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, when people talk about, you know, the grandmasters and all that, and then what chess can, you know, what it can do for you mentally and that.
Zaya plays chess a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He played. He said he was playing tohu, and then tohu was smoking him, and then he wanted to play me. Yeah. And then he beat me to build his confidence up.
Well, you know, because chess is a game that you can train in chess. You just gotta read all the that kind of stuff.
Learn from your lessons.
That's
like,
right.
Oh, I did this. Oh, okay. Next time, when he does this, I'll do that. And all that. Even Lennox Lewis plays a lot.
Yeah. Well, he's very
analytical. Yeah. So all those sort of things. I've been learning because I've been doing stuff for my knees. It's been 6 months, and but I've been listening to his podcast about knees because since I've been trying to fix my knees, there's like a whole world of it. You know, there's a whole world of everything.
Is that the knee over toes thing?
Yeah. But then like there's other people that I've found that are. You know, like if you get into coffee, you find like there's all these different things. You know,
that's the amazing thing about the podcast world.
I've fallen into the knees world, right?
Far around.
Just trying to
down
learn.
The rabbit hole. You went down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
And now, like, there's stuff that I don't fully understand it yet because I've just started vestibular. I don't know. I don't fully get it. But I was trying to look on their Instagram, some of the videos and stuff. So they'll like skip, jump rope. But then, like, look around the room, so you're not just looking forward.
Oh, okay.
So getting different parts of your brain and awareness and that guy.
Yeah.
So just do little things like, and then like colors, like hit different colors.
I've seen those things.
Yeah. So I haven't done it personally. I just listened to some podcasts about it, and
I've seen the All Blacks doing that colour.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's reaction, It's reaction time in that,
Yeah.
So it fires up their brains.
So there's a lot. So apparently some of that stuff can help with your knees. And then like even just your sight. Like some people have bad vision. So you'll do like stuff like, look at your left finger, then your right, left, right. So it's training your eyes, and so the more proprioception you have in that, the better like you can be in your movement and.
Because it's all about balance, huh?
Yeah, your perception of what's coming, and
that
can help with your knees and your ankles. So there's different like levels, So, and then like another eye one that I thought was pretty cool is like so you look at something close to you, and then snap your eyes up to something far, and focus. So you imagine that in basketball, you pick up a ball and you look up. You know, to see the court.
Far
but you can sort of train that.
So
you look at something low, and then boom, like, you probably planned it. I'm going to look at that, but really focus in on it. So then you start to expand your court awareness.
Wow,
then it helps your body.
Trick, yeah.
There's heaps of other stuff too. I haven't like, I've only just heard about it recently, like getting into the rabbit hole of the knees. So I'm really curious about that stuff. I've been dabbling with the eye stuff a little bit, but I don't have the color thing. And there's other tools out there that I'm sort of drawing a blank on, but I want to try to figure some of that stuff out as well.
You know the one that when you said, where you concentrate something below, and then you look straight up, and then you can see, try and focus on something far away. You think of all those great, like, rugby players or the fullbacks or those great point guards that, when people go, they got real good court awareness or feel, when you play normal basketball, you look up and you just kind of see whatever's in front of you. Yeah. But then you think about these people, go, man, they could see
the whole court.
Everything. They could see everything, and that's what I was just thinking of. Like when you play, you kind of try and let everything come to you, like, oh, and then when you think of
it's too slow.
Yeah,
you got to be quick. You go boom.
That's right. And then you think of guys like, the great fullbacks, or the great 5'8", like Dan Carter, Slater, Billy Slater. They look up and they already know what they're gonna do. They see, or Andrew Johns, when he got the ball, when you get the point, you go, oh, you're looking around. But these guys, they just, it's, when they talk about it's kind of in slow motion and kind of stuff. You hear these guys, the great playmakers, and they go, man, I just know what to do or need to put the kick through there.
Long ball to the winger.
That's right. They see
kick in behind the winger.
That's right. Yeah. I knew the fullback was out.
Yeah.
When you hear the ball, you're like this. Oh, what should I?
And then you're tackled.
Where would this guy come from? And these guys, the great players always seem to, like Andrew Johns and Jonathan Thurston, they always seem to have all the time in the world.
Kobe Bryant used to watch his tape. The videotape and study his moves, his movements, and then he'll pick little things like, oh, if my foot was here, I would have a split second ahead. Yeah, I would have got there a second, second.
But the neurology, I guess, was going back to the brain stuff. That's sort of, I'm still learning. That's something that I'm going to dig into and learn more. But that's, while we're on the podcast, that's something that I want to work towards, is sort of like the knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick, creating probably similar program, but just in New Zealand, obviously, because there's a lot of knee problems, all around the world, really. And just helping. There's a lot of netballers, basketballers, rugby league that have knee injuries, and I've had them myself, and it's hindered me since, pretty much. So if I can help kids prevent, or teens, injuries, or help kids come back from the injuries.
That's amazing that you want to get into
that.
Well,
I'm learning now. I'm learning.
And you could be the guy in New Zealand that helps.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of others out there, but
you can be the Tim Grover for knees.
It's funny though. When you're talking about people who have had knee injuries.
So many, man.
But when you watch, if I'm watching a game with Kololo or John, because I had a really bad knee injury when I was and when you see someone and you always go, oh, everyone collectively puts, whatever knee you've injured, you put on, oh man, poor, this poor guy, man. Oh man, and you look at other people, we know how, we know the pain, the awkwardness and all that,
But I've been doing it 6 months now, and my knees are feeling pretty good. I'm jumping and.
Are you dunking yet?
Nah, I can dunk with a little ball, but not a full size ball.
So you still doing the plyometric training?
Just once a week, but I'm trying to drop a couple of kilos, so then I don't have to carry as much. Not too much, just two or three. So then when I jump, I don't have as much excess weight. But, I've sort of committed long term, so this whole year, next year, so I'm not I guess I am in a rush, but not, I'm not saying I have to do it in 6 weeks or whatever. So, I feel like I'm progressing the right way, and I'm learning how to jump. The jumping is a skill, I didn't realize it was such a skill, left, right, left. Because I would try to dunk a few times in the past, and I would just try to jump, and I could still grab the hoop, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I'm still learning now, but I have an idea. And the arm swing as well. I didn't realize the arm swing. So trying to jump with the ball, you take your arms out of the action. It's so hard. And so the goal was to try to get my jump good enough that I can do a tip jam or an alley-oop, a one-hand alley-oop, because then I can still use my arm swing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So use my arm swing. and then just sort of tip it in.
So,
I'm gradually trying to build up the ball. So I did it like a little ball, and then I gotta get a medium sized one, then a girl's ball, and then a boy's full 7 size 7 ball.
Shucks.
But
You know, when you said you're learning how to jump, so all your life have you been people can jump off one foot, or off the one leg, or because when you watch people, some are more explosive off the one leg, or both are two plant. Like Dominique Wilkins, he was a plant that's 2 feet in there, and he would just explode.
Yeah, I learned a lot through the knees over toes guy. Yeah.
So what are you? Have you been a 2 foot guy and jump, or a 1 foot off your 1 foot?
So I've learned a lot. Like, so I've got wide hips. So there's different body types too. So usually guys with wide hips. I'm a force jumper, like force production. So there's guys with like narrow hips, and they're sort of springy.
Shucks.
So they have like bounce in their step. And I notice it now. So they're just fast. It's genetics, the way their body's made to. They're more lighter. And so I have to use strength and power. So I'm a 2 foot jumper, usually left, right. But I have to do right, left if I want to be balanced. Because you land a certain way if you jump off your left and right. So when you land, I can't remember how you land, but you'll land maybe left, right. And so if you do that a million times, you're going to end up with a knee injury. And so that's how Derek Rose blew his knee out, knees over toes guy, I reckon. So he watched all his dunks, and he's always a left-right jumper. I think left-right. Oh, left foot. Oh, one of the, something. But he did the same dunk type every time, and so he was imbalanced and just over time. But he says Kobe Bryant is the most balanced jumper.
Because he can do both.
Yeah, he did both foot. So left, right.
And then
left, right, and right, left.
Oh.
So he had the most dunks from all 4 plants.
Oh,
so that enabled him to have less of a chance getting knee.
Well, he only blew his Achilles out, but he never had a knee injury.
Oh man.
And
Shucks, that's
so
cool,
even
man.
Jordan, he was a pretty balanced jumper.
Yeah.
So he could jump off
I was going to say
left, right. So depending on the situation. So, because part of the training is we do like left, right, left, and then the next week you just do 1 footed jumping. Man, I'm so rubbish at jumping off 1 foot. But there's one of the boys at school. Shout out to Kuldeep. He's a narrow hip guy. Man, he's got mad hops, so he jumps off 1 foot. But that's just the way he is. And there's a guy on my team, Indian fella. He's real springy. He can't dunk, but he's elastic. Saying I'm force. So some guys are elastic, so they got like a certain bounce. So most islanders usually force. We're heavy. We've got wide hips.
Yeah.
But if you got those body types, usually a lot of ballers have is narrow.
Yeah.
They're usually more likely to be the 1 foot jumpers.
So
but if you jump off your left a lot, try to work on your right, even if you don't dunk, but just like layup. So then you can just have better longevity.
It doesn't matter what body type you are, just as long as you do
balance,
you'll be
this
fine.
is just for injury prevention. You might be able to get a few years. Like Derek Rose was sweet for years, but then once he blew his knee out, it's just keep occurring. So you could get by for a while, but if you want to play forever or keep running forever, then try to do all 4.
You could be like a specialist trainer one day,
Well, that's what
And schools come to you, basketball teams come to you to, train them how to jump, or, guys.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do it as well. So then when people ask me questions, I'm like, I can speak from experience. Yeah. So I can be like, I've tried this and that. And I am doing it.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about depth jumps. This is like the number 1 plyometric sort of drill. I've done a little bit in the past, but not like a proper program. So I've just sort of started a little bit, but jumping is quite harsh, if you can imagine, jumping really high and then landing. So a lot of jumpers only jump once a week. People they jump, like amateurs will be like, I'm going to work on my jumping, and they jump every day. You're most likely going to get injured. But if you play basketball, you probably don't need to do plyometrics because you're doing it in the game. Unless maybe only to work on the jump that you're not doing.
To add extra.
So if you're always a left foot,
maybe
just practice your right foot. But you don't need to do specific. You probably just need to get stronger, like in general. Some of the key muscles work as the tibialis, the front, the shin. So that's one of the key muscles because that helps protect the knee. So when you plant your foot, it absorbs and takes the pressure off your knee. You know what I mean? Calf raises, obviously. I thought that was a bit of an eats thing, but it's actually a legit thing.
Oh, so back in the days when
I was always like, nah, I don't need big calves.
Yeah.
I don't have to have big calves. I just need to be strong, and it helps protect your Achilles as well from injuries as well.
Did you ever one of my close friends, he got the jump soles. Do you remember jump soles?
Yeah.
And you know what?
I wanted them.
It worked.
Did it work?
Yeah. So my mate, one of my close friends, Yuange, he got them, and because he was already naturally, he had a bit of spring.
Yeah.
But he used them. Him and my mate, him and his cousin Michael Chang, and you saw the difference with them, because they showed how because they were doing like those depth jumps, like jumping onto with the jump soles.
Yeah.
Because what it was doing was it was all of the muscles you were using were your calves.
Yeah.
And your thighs as well. So it was, because remember the jump soles were just at the tip of your feet.
Yeah.
And it worked, man. Hey, you remember how high that guy was getting up, and it just came. He just started doing it, and then I remember one day, man, and he came and he dunked it on someone, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This stuff's for real,
Yeah.
It was all in the Slam magazine. Yeah, I used to see it, and now, hey, this thing's working. And I tried this for 4 weeks, and man, I was dunking the 12-foot rim. Okay. And then when I saw it actually work, because he was athletic already.
Yeah.
But it added that extra,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would have worked because if his calves were weak and then he strengthened them and his quads, but he probably would have had more hops if he did a more well-rounded program. But
yeah,
I mean, he achieved his goal, so
yeah.
Well,
I saw him,
still pretty.
I saw him
pretty
pull off
awesome.
some of them.
Still pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him pull off some
Can
of
you
the
still get
greatest.
those jump soles?
Well, probably
banned.
No. Well, I think the jump soles.
I'm sure they led to some injuries down the track.
What it did though is that it was the original form of, I mean, it was plyometrics, but you just had that. I think that was just the gimmick. The actual meat of it was the exercises that you were doing.
Right.
Yeah, So I think
I didn't follow it. I seen them around, but I didn't buy into it too much.
But I think it was the actual exercises that were hard out. I think they got it from America.
I probably would have did it if I had got my hand on them.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's more was the exercises that were the actual term plyometrics was those jump soles were probably just they added maybe a little bit, but it was really the exercises that were the
that
real.
He did.
Yeah. So I remember him doing those exercises. I wonder if this is going to work.
There's one thing I want to ask you, Yush. You know how on your podcast you're doing the solo episodes?
Yeah.
How are you finding that? Because I tried to do a solo one.
Yeah.
And it took me 4 takes, and then I deleted it at the end because it was rubbish.
Yeah.
I was trying to do one for empty out the clip.
Yeah.
But it didn't come out right.
Yeah.
But how are you finding those ones? Cause
I don't know. I don't enjoy it on my own. That's why I try to get like a co-host, but I haven't found anyone yet. But I don't know. I still think I'm going to carry on till I do find a co-host. I'll probably do one soon because I've come up to 6 months of my Knees Over Toes program. So it was just like an update. Yeah. But I don't enjoy them as much on my own, to be honest. But I think they're important. Just because when you interview people, it's all about them, and you add a few stories and your 2 cents here and there, but just to talk about your own projects and what you're up to, so the listener can buy into your story and your journey, and also just for myself, keep myself accountable, and then also for my daughters to listen back on stuff. So now I'm the same as you. I don't enjoy them as much, but
for me, I don't enjoy it because
being solo. Sorry, I'd like to have a co-host. Yeah.
For me, I didn't enjoy it because it was rubbish, but I want to do it.
Yeah.
There's times where I've got an opinion on the game or something like that, and I want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, you can't do that in an interview.
Yeah.
Certain things.
Do you think subconsciously, because it just sounds like you should do it, but I think you might be just being a bit hard on yourself, this feels wrong that I should be talking.
Oh no, I actually want a co-host.
Okay.
I can be I'll talk about my journey and be like, all right, how's your things? You
so you can bounce off each other. Okay.
All right, cool. Oh, because what I because I listen to the My Muscle Project. That's like a Aussie podcast, fitness one, and then because they do interviews and then they do their own one. But I think I mentioned before. But I end up enjoying the one where they just talk about their own life.
Yeah.
Because one of them had a kid and they talk about their gyms and stuff like that. Whereas the other ones, it's just about the guests. And I actually enjoy them more now, hearing their updates. And they did a challenge, the 75 hard.
What's that one?
It's like some challenge, like what's his name? Oh, he's I can't remember his name, but he's a tough guy. He's sort of like a Tim Grover type of guy. They're buddies. Andy Frisella, my CEO, Mother effing CEO. He's like that type of mentality.
Yeah.
So he put out a challenge, and they talk about that, and different things they're up to, and just like updates. So I'd like to have someone to, I share my ones and they share theirs. But then some of the things they do, I want to do because they do like a Netflix or movie review, like a quick one.
Yeah.
Talk about like maybe some of the current events recently.
Yeah.
I guess you guys sort of do it, in your podcasts.
Oh,
well, that's what I want to do because with my guests, I don't really do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
I
empty out
want
the
to
clips
do
for.
it. Yeah, right.
Podcast empty out clips for that. But on days where I can't get anyone on, like I wouldn't mind doing one just me.
Yeah.
I'll just say my opinion on that thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I tried it once, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out, and I got frustrated. And I just deleted it.
Are you gonna try it again?
But no, I'm gonna try it again. But I think what I have to do is actually write down notes.
Yeah.
What I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I didn't have any notes. I was just doing a freestyle.
Right.
I thought I could do a freestyle, and it didn't come out right. And I was like, oh shit, no, delete. But
Well, I reckon that you're right, because then after that, for that kind of stuff, you would have to have pointers so you can go, okay, I've covered this.
yeah,
And plus, you'll already know what you're going to talk about. If you go freestyle, you're probably going to make a point, and then towards the end, when you press stop, you flip. I should have said that.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling that the other day. You know.
Well, I take notes when I do my one.
Yeah. See, so you got pointers, because if you're not, if you want to do a solo one like that, then it's just a run. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I went to the shop, man, bloody, that kind of stuff. But if you've got points, then you go, there's a reason why I want to talk about this, because I had this great, not epiphany. I went, man, I really think I want people to know that this is how I felt about this and that.
I heard a thing recently, like how to scale without scaling. So, when you're small, you have to like talk to every customer, every fan.
Okay.
That's how you scale. And then once you get big, you find out like systems and processes and stuff like that. And I think the solo one is a good way to connect with every individual follower and listener.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh man, I really feel like I know them, and they see you and they're like, oh man, how's the kids, or how's the jump thing going?
Yeah.
They're there. I was like, oh no, I'm not there. Or, That's
because you're, essentially, you're putting yourself out there. You're revealing your insecurity, or sometimes your insecurities, or what you really feel about something. So people are either going to agree with you, or because when someone's listening to you or anything, they're investing their time into you. You know what I mean? Because they've whatever they're doing, whether they're sitting in their car, they're mowing their lawns, or they're cleaning the house, or going for a walk, they're listening. They're listening to your voice. They're not listening to their inner voice. They've actually said, I'm gonna download this, or I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna so it'll be it must be a good way to really relate to them, because I listen to, when I go to sleep, like I just queue up all these podcasts, and I kind of leave the Bill, I put Bill Burr first.
Is that?
Yeah, because he does the rap.
That's your starter?
Yeah, that's my starter, man.
Yeah.
I always, during the, and he just, man, I feel like I know him.
Right,
Because man, I went to the people at the Walmart, man, blah blah blah. My wife, man, that's her. She's yelling at me, got to go do this with my my daughters and that. Like I feel like if I walked up to him, like you said, hey Bill, how's your wife? I'd be like, I'm like, sorry, man, because I've watched, you've revealed so much that I feel like, I should never actually come up to you and ask, but I know that. Bill Burr likes these kind of things. He's from Boston. He likes I know what teams he likes, what players he likes. So
if you think about it, when when reality TV started, on with Big Brother, and then that one when they were all flatting. Was that one? I forgot. But when that reality TV started,
Big Brother,
everybody was into it because it was like, it's reality, right? It's real. So it was a similar sort of thing. People interested in the uniqueness of someone's life.
Yeah.
Like and I think it's the whole thing about being unique too, being different than all the rest. If you're like talking like those guys on TV or radio, like what's stopping me from turning on the radio?
Yeah.
This is something that is there.
Yeah.
Where on the podcast, if you're different, and when I mean different, I mean you're talking about something that no one can hear anywhere else. You're talking about topics no one can hear anywhere else. You're having a conversations that no one can hear anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's like it's an alternative to anything that's out there right now.
Yeah, and I want to like sometimes I just get ideas about things. And
you want to...
Yeah, I want to talk about it, but then like in a week or two later, it's not really... It's gone.
Well, that's...
But like when I do interviews, I can't be like, oh guys, I on the podcast, and they're like, oh, I got this idea about, I thought this the other day, it's not the right place. And, to share like some sort of opinion or thought about something. That's about the guest.
Yeah. Well, that's what...
You can do those posts, those Instagram posts. You can just do a recording of yourself and post it.
Oh, yeah, true.
You can do those little
good,
things. Like, it doesn't have to be long. It's just 1 minute.
Just like, oh, this came to my head.
Yeah.
I was at the petrol station. Yeah. Like, I get that, but I like to share those. But I guess I could do the short ones if, I can't do a solo one.
Well, the other thing was, like, when you have those ones where your individual ones, it's because you're doing it in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if maybe, that's for the people that are investing or we want to learn, that once again, I like what he talks about. So he put up a thing about COVID, the level 2 lockdown in Wellington, and I'm gonna listen to it and see what his thoughts are, or what game, when you talk about post-match just after the Blues. If you'd done a podcast on straight away after the Blues kind of thing. But I would have, people would, I want to listen because I was so excited about listening to it then, But
the thing, like, because, you asked me to do the league one and that, like, when it's a podcast about a sport or whatever, I feel like unqualified in a way, but if it's just like me, like, my solo thing, it's just my opinions. You know what I mean? It's a slightly different format to me, because if I'm going to talk about basketball like this, I feel comfortable because we're just talking about everything. But if it's a podcast about basketball, I'm like,
specific.
I don't know, man. You got to have your facts right.
Yeah.
Or if I'm talking about league and origin, because there's league, rugby experts that just focus on that, and if you're talking smack, nothing's going to happen. But to me, I want to have it right. But if I have my own solo one, or like with a co-host. People can just be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It was funny though.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about that. I talked about that, then I talked about the UFC. It's not as like a strong professional.
It's just your opinion.
Yeah. So that's why I get scared about doing the empty out the clip in that. Because I feel like if you're gonna talk there, you got to bring it.
Well,
maybe that's just my own thing in my head.
But that's what I'm gonna try to do with empty out the clip when I'm doing a solo one, because if I watch a game, I want to come down here and record half an hour of me talking about the game I just watched,
right,
and how I felt about it, and then that's it, and put it up there.
And because when I was a league player, I knew what it was like to be an enthusiast, a true one. I would watch 5 to 7 games a week. I knew all the players, injuries, everything. So when you say like do a league, I'm like, I'm not in that level at the moment. You know what I mean? Because back then I knew like every player. Now I'm like, I watch all the Eels games because my nephew plays there, and I watch the odd, other game, but I don't really know up to date. And the same as basketball, I watch, those mini NBA games and a game here and there, but I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the order the guests you've had on, like. We're talking about closers and cleaners, and do you think about all your guests and put them in a category, one of those categories?
Nah, not really. Yeah,
your guests probably listening like this, man. If you say I'm
nah,
I'll
not
put
really.
you in the cooler.
maybe like in the
because
moment.
since I read that book, like that's what I've been doing now.
Yeah,
I'm wondering who's in these categories.
I guess I have like loose like thoughts here and there, but I don't like dwell on it. But just like, oh yeah, they've got something special or they got X factor. But then I'm back to daydreaming quickly after that. So
That's the thing cool about your podcast is because I hadn't even heard of these people.
Right.
But they're doing amazing things.
Yeah.
In sports
You're
and health.
giving them exposure.
Yeah,
Eh?
and they may have one article in the Herald one time, but they're not household names.
Yeah.
But they're people that's doing amazing things in sport. They could be up there with with all the rest of them. But that's good. It's good to expose them like that.
Yeah, another thing with the curse is not just for me to share my ideas, but I actually want to grow the podcast. So I think for them to add different skills and stuff as well. So it's not just to have someone to share their opinion, my opinion, but I don't know, just different views, they might challenge me like, well, why are you doing this?
That's
all
what
the time?
should, that's what should
So I
always
want
be.
that to sort of grow a team. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's always good to have a shoestring team as well. Yeah. So maybe at the end of it, like 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
For like a producer, a couple of people on the mic, something like that.
Nice.
But nothing big. But I think when it's just yourself, you need someone to be like giving you feedback. Hey, like proper feedback. Like, oh, you say this too much, or your time moving for questions. Or, I don't know. Or the sound quality. I don't know. It could be anything. But just someone, because I don't have that. So it's about growing the podcast as well as sharing my own thoughts and stuff like that. Just being accountable, because it's sort of comfortable and easy to not have someone.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, gosh, man, you're like flat. You're pretty flat. Your energy wasn't there today. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'll bring it the next time. That type of thing.
Yeah, it was funny because me and this guy were talking about it before. Like we didn't want to. I said to him like, we don't want to be yes people all the time.
Yeah.
So like we're going through a few of the. Like there's been a couple of recordings we'll go afterwards we'll kind of laugh like, yeah man, I didn't think you were right. Well, like this, did you hear me, Well, like publicly, I mean, I'll say it to him and the thing, I don't think, and he'll say it, no, I think it's supposed to be, and I'm like, and we laugh.
That's good.
It's not personal, it's because we, that's how things work, you got to have.
That's best podcasting.
Everything Cameron said, okay, Cameron, you're absolutely correct and 100% you're so right, and I'm telling him, nah, man, I don't think so, man, and like you said, held accountable, that's how, because you're either going to be, you have to be humble enough to know that, okay, the guest has made a valid point. He's changed my view or something, or he's solidified my view for how I have always viewed something. Or Cameron will say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's right. Like
you're not sure, eh?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, now I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm like, I'm going to stand by what I thought, or like, okay, he's actually he swayed my idea of what I thought of something, and then he'll say something. I'm like, nah, it's none of that. I don't think that. Yeah. And if he says it, or if and I go, oh, okay, then, or like I'll go, yeah, I was right.
I knew all along.
Yeah, you all along. That's right.
Yeah. It's like the Counter Rock podcast. It's Stace. He's a blues fan.
Yeah.
And Joey comes on. He's a blues fan. It's the ones where Roger comes on, he's a Chiefs fan.
With the feathers, yeah.
He's a Chiefs fan, so there's gonna be a little bit of
bit of tension there. Yeah. Well, you've got to have someone go, because you've got to, that's why Skip and Shannon work so well, because they're butting heads all the time, so it's good.
You need that,
because he's set in his way and Skip's set in his way, and they're going at each other, and people love that kind of stuff, or they just love. I believe because it's authentic, because. Shannon is so team LeBron and Skip's so team Jordan that you pick a side.
But it's crack up when they say stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, here we go.
Yeah. Like Stephen A. Smith, he's getting worse and worse these days.
I was cracking up. I was listening to with Artinga.
Tracy, yeah.
And she mocked the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Not mocked the Chiefs, but she was like, something about beating... giving the Chiefs a hiding or something like that.
Yeah.
And not the Crusaders, something like that.
And she's a Crusaders fan, yeah.
So, that's good banter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, like people are like, like probably listening is, man, this guy slags off the Blues every chance he gets. And part of it is, it's all tongue in cheek because I know that these guys get annoyed at it, So I'm, you give me a chance, I'm gonna rubbish that team. But when they made the final, I messaged him and Danny and that. I go, look, no more Blues slander from me, mate, because you guys, you made the final. Yeah. I gotta hand it to you. I'm not gonna, I can't say anything anymore because. That job's gone because I can't see my hands haven't made a final. How long, you haven't won jack. So
how was the final? You were at the game? I was in.
No, we were in the final at the game before.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a big deal when you go out, eh?
Yeah.
It's your whole sort of that half of the day gone, eh?
Yeah.
And then getting the kids there and out and getting food and parties.
Did you guys catch the train?
No, it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But
we drove in.
It's an event, eh?
Yeah. And then we were just like, we didn't want to pick ourselves up for that back-to-back sort of thing. So we just watched from home and got some junk food and enjoyed that. And, just celebrating and, talking on the family chat because everybody, congratulating Alex on the win and the boys. But I was just so happy because... everybody knows I'm sports biased, but I just believe in the power of sports for a city. What it does. What it does for people.
Yeah.
Whether it's the netball, the cricket, or anything, I think it just uplifts everyone. They're the modern day gladiators. They give people hope, and I mean, there's other people too. That do other things as well, but. We look up to them. We go to work every day, and what's the games coming on the weekend? And makes us feel good about ourselves, I reckon, a little bit. Our team's the best.
Yeah.
When they're in the city,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to say it lately, but I don't know how to say it properly. Winning is everything. Not actually literally. If you lose and you play your hardest and your best, everything like a cleaner, then it's all good if you lose. But I'm not really. But the thing is, winning is. It does so much for everything around it. The organization, the management, the coaches, the trainers, the families, the players.
The
whole you're playing to yourself. Whatever you're going into next, I'm a winner.
I think it's not enough though. I think winning isn't enough. And it's not like we got to win every year to get the people in. I think we got to do more than that.
Yeah, that's your buy-in, and then you can do stuff from there.
Yeah.
That's gonna help.
But the stuff after the buy-in, the other stuff is not there. There's long drinks in between. The two having two back to backs. There's no guarantee that it's gonna that hype will be there.
Yeah, but we need the guys that win and the girls and whatever. To use that platform to do good for the city afterwards, because they become more household names and more respected in society and stuff sort of Ronnie and Marco and them. They do a lot of good stuff. So the guys they win, you've got a lot more love now, respect and stuff. Being champions.
Well, people love winners.
Use that.
People love winners. You're drawn.
That's just my
you're drawn
opinion,
to. No, you were talking about the power of sports. If you look at all these small country towns all around New Zealand and that, the focal most of the time the focus of the whole community is in their local rugby team. Everything evolves around the trainings, the drinks, the pub, and
afterwards,
the bar, the sausage sizzles and all that. The whole community is built on that, and so when you say sports does have that power to bring everyone together, because when you're in those little towns, everyone knows all the players they support it wholeheartedly because that's all. I'm not saying that's all they have, but that's the way where they all come together as a community.
Is that what we need though? But is that what we need though?
Everyone goes.
That's the escape.
All their school goes in. All those schools go into that club.
Yeah, people that are working. That work
because
perfect word escape. That's there. Yeah.
Because Australia does that better than us. Oh, you talk about all the clubs, like the clubs, NRL clubs. They're like places that the community goes to.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
entertainment clubs and that.
They're entertainment spots, for the community to go have a beer, restaurant, casino, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And then there's country, Muji and all those kind of towns. That's why all those towns, those New South Wales towns and those towns up in North Queensland and that's the same kind of attitude. Like their local league team is their, that's all the focus. Everyone, it's all built around sports, or the local sports team.
I don't know the full, understand the full economics and the business side of things, but yeah, like being born in Aussie and that, and playing footy there, the league clubs have like workers clubs, and a big part of their funding to play to their players and to look after their club and that is the pokies and that.
Yeah.
So we don't have that here, eh? So I don't know if that's the answer or something, but there has to be some sort of a business attached to each club.
Yeah.
Well, I think
whatever that looks like. That's why I don't really know the answer, but there has to be some sort of. Well, that's how I've seen.
Well, I think they got it right because they invest in the people. They know people going to spend money on stuff they want to spend money.
So they go, they buy a dinner, and then they have a few slaps.
Whatever.
What else they got there? And
exactly. So
that goes into the team.
Yeah. And it builds that. It builds the funds for the team, but they tap into the people to spend their money.
Yeah.
And people can spend their money on entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's what they tap into.
And that's how they can pay their players and keep them.
Yeah.
Draw players in and all the care, whatever that is, doctors and physios and stuff like that. So
you're gonna have people say, "Oh, it's gambling, ruins families." Blah blah blah. Yeah, there is that, but there's nothing else. I mean, there's nothing else. What are you gonna get handouts?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what is there? What is there?
No, no, I don't think.
I don't know what else business they can do.
I had this conversation with a guy at work.
Because I'm not big on it because it can ruin families.
Yeah.
But
he said, no, New Zealanders aren't like that.
Way.
We're not like that. New Zealanders aren't like that. We don't want to do those.
You know what? It's
what
weird?
Australians do. They're bogans. They do have all that stuff because of their culture.
Because I was in Aussie till I was like 13. When I moved to New Zealand, did my school, moved back to pursue league, and it's different there, man. Because it's weird. Because me and my mates, we get into like themes at night. Here we're doing podcast, but mostly people don't do things during the night. Like we have little. Like we'll get into 10-pin bowling and we'll do that for like 6 weeks or something. Like once or twice a week. And then little phases, that's it.
Yeah.
And then like nothing will happen for a while and then the NBA season starts. So we'll play basketball for like a couple of months. And then like that'll die out. And then we got into like poker. Like hard out. Like playing at mates' places. We went to some workers clubs. And so that's like it's different over there, eh? Like over here, no one goes out at night, eh? Or even the quiz nights. We'll go out for like some do it here, eh?
Yeah.
Like you go home, go work. I know you come home from work, have dinner, and then you sort of watch a few shows or whatever, help the family out, and then go to bed. But there, like you'll come home, have dinner and stuff, and then like pop out for a couple of hours, and not everywhere and all the time, but yeah. Is
there more things to do? Is that one?
I don't know. It's just a different life, eh? Different culture.
Different mentality.
Yeah.
They've always got to be doing stuff, and us we're like, I'm just going to go stay.
So I know where I was going with that was in terms of like the business, like for the clubs and stuff. I don't know. It's a tough sell for the Kiwi, league and rugby clubs and trying to build business because people will stay home.
Yeah, I don't
know the answers. I'm just sharing.
No, I just think we don't invest in the people as much.
Do you think
like
they would?
We rely on more? We rely on government funding. We rely on fundraising and But like Australia's different. It's different over there. They invest in the people. They rely on the people to spend their money to help them out.
I think that also Australians, they love sport. So they'll, if you look at the way New Zealand sports are treated here, when we look at the funding when they go. Look at basketball. Like their funding is crap. All these other smaller, all these other sports. The funding. The New Zealand motto of you've got to be successful, then we'll give you the money. It feels like the Australian mentality is we'll give you the money to make you successful. You know what I mean? Then that's why that's what they've got the Australian Institute of Sport. You've got they've got all that kind of high performance in that. What do we have? We don't have.
Having said that, we are doing better though.
I don't know. We're doing better.
Like per,
capita.
Like,
I know, but Australia is sports mad. Like the way they treat their athletes. Like that's why they're so good. Look at the swimmers. Look at, they've already got AFL. Like, look at all these.
I think I still think they're underachieving at the moment.
Oh, Australians.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Fair enough.
In the 90s, they were killing it.
That's right.
The cricket, the rugby league, swimming and all that. But no, I don't know what's happened. I've been here, so I don't know what's actually happened But I talked to my good mate because he's still over there, and he was saying it's sort of going. What we were talking about the PC stuff.
Yeah.
That's been a big
Australia's.
Even my brother, because he's in the Australian Army and that. And he says it's just different. Not completely. As obviously it's always going to be Australia, but it's just gone a bit softer, and those sort of things. It lost some of that edge. That Shane Warne edge. So he's a cleaner.
Yeah.
Through and through. He's one of the best. He's one of the best cleaners, man.
When I went to
they've lost that
the kind of edge that they had.
Even though they are investing in that, I still think they are underachieving big time compared to us.
Yeah,
I think we're doing a lot better for the size. For $5 million.
Well, where are we?
But we're not investing as much. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
We do really well.
So that sucks because they should be investing more. Then they have the money there. They're going to go build a $200 million bridge for cycleway for Balingi people to cycle under the
Yeah.
There's other things that, like you said, the power of sports. If we look at the way we react when the All Blacks win the World Cup or when we won the America's Cup. Man, did you see the Vairak? Every man and his dog were down there celebrating with them.
I agree with what you're saying, and what you're saying, Cam. Like with I was listening to the Dawkins. Is it Dawkins? Is it Richard Dawkins, the atheist guy?
Yeah.
And some people just won't change. And how we're saying we rely on the people to give us stuff and that. We've got to go do it ourselves, eh? Because if we rely on things, it's not going to happen, and it's not going to change. People are just not going to change. And so I think for some of those things, we have to do it, eh? You know what I mean? I agree. I agree with what you're saying. But whether it's people in basketball or league or rugby or other elsewhere, it's the people within that have to do it. We can't rely on the government. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to change.
I know, but
I think there's a way to make people, I said, Australia's good at investing in the people to help fund the sports. They do that by all the stuff that they do. We can actually do that. If someone came from America, from NCAA, come over here to give a plan to New Zealand basketball, say, I'm going to make New Zealand basketball better than rugby. How are you going to do that? This is rugby mad. But if they can tap into what we talked about on another podcast, like tribalism, loyalty with, getting the community together, all that kind of stuff. 4 years ago, I was in Hawaii, right? And I wasn't an NFL fan. I wasn't following NFL at that time. But NFL in Hawaii is a big deal. That's an NFL town, right? And I had lunch at this place called Chili's, and it's a place that's it's like a Denny's, but it's like a sports bar as well. I went there at lunchtime and it was empty, right? Empty. So I ordered my lunch, sat down, and then there was an NFL game on. It just started. And next minute, out of nowhere, all these Denver Broncos fans just come in the bar and packed out and ordering beers. Everyone's shouting, drinking, and the game's and everyone's shouting and blah blah blah. I was like, what the fuck? What happened? All of a sudden, the whole place is full of
in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's full of NFL fans. And
Denver Broncos.
And they got the TV. They got the TV on, and man, everyone's into it.
Yeah.
Because I think because Hawaii doesn't have an NFL team, but a lot of tourists there. So if a game's on, there's going to be fans of that team to watch the game. And then after that, I loved the NFL. Yeah. I want to follow this, so I started following it. But I think that's the power of what happens when you invest in the people, of the loyalty stuff, of
I agree.
And getting the community for fans, and all the bars, all the sports bars. Every time the NFL game is on, everyone's packed. Everywhere's packed. And it's a time difference, right? So it's during the day. I don't know if these people work or not, but man, everyone's watching the NFL.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Like, that's why I agree with... I mean, I think it was so important that the Blues won. Because then... But then it's got to keep building on the back of that, eh? You know, with the merchandise...
Yeah.
With the players, hopefully they do different things in the community to get people to be a part of that tribe. Because, you know, if they get out into schools or whatever, workplaces and stuff, shake hands with kids, man, I'm a fan for life. Man, you know, a kid, Ioane, you know, he came out.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Papali,
yeah,
you know,
that's right.
came to my school, did a workshop. That's how you build, that tribalism. And then they grow up and they're still following the Blues. And then because their kids see them... my dad follows the Blues, so I'm going to follow the Blues.
Right.
You know, so I guess winning it is the buy-in, what we just mentioned. And then there's got to be the merchandise, getting the jerseys out there, because, you know, the American sports is about the jersey, singlets, all the stuff, because that's the marketing, being proud, you know, you're part of the Blues.
You know, the tribalism part as well, and you made a real valid point was, you know, it's kind of like a pass down.
Yeah.
You know, because if you listen to Bill Simmons, listen to all these other American fans, they'll always, and these North Carolina, all these college teams, they'll go, because my dad went to school.
Exactly.
And then he, from my early age, he put it on me, so it was ingrained in me.
Exactly.
Hey.
That's why we have to,
That's right. And that's what we don't do as a country.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my brother Kololo, his wife, so Lynx, she's like me, she's a Waikato Chiefs fan. And her son, Elias, she put on the jersey on him straight away. And Kololo, you know, he's like, no. So my other son's going to wear a Blues, you know. And so Elias, he's a Chiefs fan. And she pretty much, you know, she didn't give him a chance.
Him.
Yeah, that's right. She ingrained it in him and said, you are going to be a Chiefs fan. And that's why, you know, so I've got a soft spot for him too, because he's like me. And you know, and you see him going off against other Blues guys. And that's what it's about. You know, we've got to get back into that mentality, like you've got to support this team, you know, all the way. You know, we've got to.
Well, I like the Blues, like obviously early on, you know, with Jonah and Joely Vandiri and stuff. Man, they were bad. But then I love Christian Cullen.
Oh yeah.
So I supported the Hurricanes for a few years, and I got older, and I was like, "Fuck, this is wrong."
Yeah.
You know, so I went back to supporting the Blues. I was like, "Man, this is where I live. This is my people and stuff like that." I don't know Wellington, you know. So I've got to get behind the businesses, everything, where I live, instead of supporting off shore teams or businesses and stuff. Where possible, anyway.
I get jealous, because you know I've been watching the NBA playoffs right now, and I think when it was the Nets versus Bucks, they're playing over the Nets, but at the Bucks stadium, it's packed full of people watching the big screen.
Right.
You know, and then all the fans are there. Then they swap over. They go to their home. Then over at Brooklyn, they got their fans watching on the big screen in the stadium. You know, that kind of stuff. You know,
we don't do that, eh?
No, we don't do that.
Well, the closest
that's what I'm saying. You everyone stays home. Everyone stays home.
But you know, but we don't have any sports bars. Like a place to go, and I want to see sports bars packed with people watching the game.
You know,
do you think if we had the options, people would go out?
You know what? You're right. You know, absolutely. Because I was just thinking while we were sitting here, like we don't have bars that go, if you wear your Blues jersey and that's 2-for-1 drinks.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
But,
you know, exactly. You go, you're just encouraging drinking. And no, we're just encouraging you to put on that shirt, you know? Or, you know, find deals. We don't have enough. The hospitality industry doesn't have enough. I don't know whether they're not given chances or it's just too expensive, but I reckon if they had that kind of themes, you know, theme nights.
Yeah.
You know?
But that comes down to what we're trying to talk about. It's entertainment brings the people.
Yeah.
Entertainment brings the people over and makes them spend their money.
Well, me and Phil, we were in LA. We got lucky. We went to an ice hockey game, but we walked in, so excited, and then someone was like offering us shirts, and we're like, oh no, thanks. And then like, because before we had to pay.
Yeah.
And then we like realized, like the other people just grab me and then,
Yeah.
oh, are they for free? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So they're just trying to get the crowd in behind their home team. So we got the shirts on, and then we got the towel.
Oh, yeah. And were you into
But it's
it?
all for free.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're a big fan.
Yeah. Well, remember when
you're a part of it.
you know those Golden State games, all those Houston, and they're all red.
Yeah.
It's because they give you the shit for free.
Yeah.
So you gotta put it on, man.
Or at
'Cause
least,
you don't want to be
with the camera, as far as the camera.
That's right. You know, and that's why, man. Like,
it might cost them, but they're buying a fan.
That's
for
right.
life.
See, they're investing in the
marketing.
They're investing in the people.
they're investing in the fan.
And that's the and that's what New Zealand lacks. New Zealand sports lack.
Yeah.
What are
That's
they
what we
going to
lack.
do? They're going to wear the shirt to training or do the lawns?
Yeah.
Well,
they still got it, you know.
They're going to be wearing their shirt around the house.
You know that's memorabilia now. Because you can go, oh yeah, you see that, you know, you wear it. Oh, because that's a talking point. Where'd you get your shirt from? Oh yeah, well I was actually at Game 7, Houston Rockets versus, you know.
I was at the Blues final. We got a free shirt.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Hard out. Oh, you remember when we won the final? And oh man, that's that's.
Oh, that's when Fink played.
And that stuff gets passed down. You know, like Tana when he turned up on. We watched the final at my house. I messaged the boys. And
Came with the first Auckland Blues.
He came with Ronnie Clark's jersey, the original one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I was like, you look at it like, man,
that's me.
It's cool.
You know, I'm not a Blues fan, but that's history. I made his history, and that's what you can see what happens when because you should see the way people when we watch games together, everyone's so invested in it, and just hope that it can be.
I'm surprised
you saw it at the America's Cup.
Yeah.
Hey, at the viaduct, everyone, all the Balangis down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
waving
everyone.
their flags.
Even
big
I
screen
was happy.
TV.
I watched the races, man. I love watching the America's Cup. You know.
The big screen TV was on.
Yeah.
I don't get into it, but
Oh, well, that's
no, but I'm happy they won. I'm happy
yeah.
they won. Obviously.
I mean, that's example of
anything.
That's an example of
Yeah.
people fans supporting their team and doing going to an event.
Yeah.
Like
we went down there, it was pretty packed there.
Yeah. I mean, why can't the Blues have something like that?
Yeah.
You know.
They should have had a parade for the Blues.
I mean, if
they should have had a Blues day.
Or when the girls won the Netball World Cup, they should have a parade, man.
Yeah.
Straight off.
Are we not celebrating our champions enough?
Yeah, because that was big, man. They won the World Cup. Like that's.
They weren't even the favourites.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the cricket.
No, the Netball, the girls.
Oh yeah.
It was a little while back, but I remember thinking that
they should.
And they should have did like the NBA, like have a little stand and they could do their speeches and stuff.
Well, every time they become champions, they go to the. Why can't Aotea Square just
a famous
get everyone down
there?
Yeah.
Fuck, Blues should have done a parade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, they should have had a Blues day down at Aotea Square.
Yeah.
And everyone go down.
Yeah. Them all with their shirts on,
right.
their champion shirts and stuff. Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. We don't.
Yeah.
New Zealand doesn't celebrate winners.
Would have been packed.
Well, we don't celebrate winners well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another thing that they gotta have, they have a little band at the Blues thing, which is cool, but they gotta blow that up more, and they gotta have a song, because the soccer they have songs.
Yeah.
You gotta have a Blues or an Auckland song that everybody sings when and then maybe another chant when they're under pressure. So that everybody can sing and get along with it, creates a bit of energy. So you're gonna have the band like a song that's original to Auckland.
Yeah,
or like whatever it is.
What's the most famous?
How hard is that
song
for their marketing team and that? That's what I mean. Like to make a song.
I remember they say the story when I was in Hawaii, like because I bought all these hats, these caps.
Yeah.
So I had the Cubs cap, then I had I think I have San Francisco cap. Every time I was walking outside, people were like, this Cubs guy or this guy, like they're teasing my hat or the team that I supported. Oh no, it's just a hat.
It's more than that.
Yeah, it's more than them, man. Well, they are passionate about the teams. And when I'm walking around with different cap, like, man, I get some people pointing.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing here. If you were in Australia and you're walking down the middle of Sydney and you're wearing a Maroons jumper, there, look, check out the nerve on this guy, you know.
But that's a good point, because like I was wearing a New York hat, and then like we were at the game, and then like people talk to you like you're like a real fan, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And I was just like, oh yeah. Judge, he's the man, and stuff, trying to talk like I know, but they're right into it, eh?
Yeah, they're right into it.
Like
Yeah.
if you're wearing the gear, then you think you're a true supporter as well, and
Yeah,
like you're one of them. You're one of them.
That's right. You belong to
you
belong
together.
To a team. Yeah, that's right.
And it would be confusing if you have a different team jersey and the cap.
Well, that's what
to us it's just fashion, but to them it's like, nah, it's real.
But that's the thing, like all the Moi Peace over here, they wear all these other teams, but we should be supporting our home team.
Yeah.
But we're not making it easier for them to support their home team because we're not like making them buy in. You know, like they should be wearing whatever all the sports teams are here, like Wellington, Auckland, and making all the, you know, the NBL, who's out, or the Huskies.
Yep.
You know, so they're wearing those gears and not the Oakland Raiders. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know,
but we're not doing a good job at making them buy into that.
I was watching the Huskies games, and man, they've got mean gear, man.
Yeah.
They got mean. Hey, you see,
nice
they
uniform.
got the beanies and the hats, and the hoodies are going. Bro, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But if they can get that rolling, man, it's going to be
So
mean.
they got the gear now, they got to win it.
Yeah.
And then get the parade, get a song, you know.
Yeah. Well, we've got the answers here. We need someone to listen to us, man. But you're right. You know, when you talk about songs, like, you know, everyone knows it's Liverpool way. You know, when you hear that "He's My Brother" song, you know that's the team. It's either them. I'm sure it's them or Manchester United. Or when you hear, if you go to a Manly game, you know you're going to hear Eagles Rock. And everyone's in there. Yeah, man, this is our jam. You know, so you know that song is synonymous with the Manly Seagulls.
Well, even if you go like on a holiday somewhere, you run into a fan who's the same, and you start singing a song together.
That's right.
You know, some random guy from Aussie or England, but you go for the same team.
Yeah.
And you like the same, you know, you sing that song, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, the English have that swing low.
Oh yeah, see,
you know.
So that goes with the English rugby team.
We need to have stuff for our teams as well.
Well, the All Blacks have the haka. You know, that's their.
But that's just the start.
Yeah.
We need something during the game.
But you got to keep. Yep, exactly.
To keep it going, and for the fans, because not everyone gets to do the haka.
Yeah. I was telling this guy I was watching the Huskies game.
Yeah.
And every time like someone will make a me basket, it's got the howling.
Oh yeah.
And this guy, and I go, this guy goes, what? I go, nah, man, that's mean, because everyone was going to hear it. Because if you're like going to go get a beer or something and you hear the wolf howling, you go, oh shucks, something good's happened. I've missed it so you got to get back.
At the same time, I'm thinking there's no wolves in Auckland, man,
Hey,
in New Zealand, man. Well, come,
there's wolves, man.
But no, Auckland basketball was always changing name. So we had Auckland Stars back in the days. Super City, which you know made sense. Pirates even made sense because of City of Sails.
Yeah.
And then Huskies, what?
Yeah, I go what you're saying. Whatever it is, they got to settle on it and then
That's right.
win the title. Because no one's gonna buy the stuff from, you know, even if it is mean gears there. You're saying,
Yeah, bro.
but you got to win
man.
first. Yeah, you got to win. Yeah. So,
But I think basketball is building. I think the Breakers have a big part because you know if there's any sport. You know, one thing that, you know, it's like boxing. You know what, when you go to watch boxing, what are they going to do? Well, you know what they're going to do. They're going to punch each other's faces in, you know. And basketball is probably one of the more spectator-friendly sports.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what do? They dribble the ball and they got to go there and the other team's got to go that way. You try and bring a novice to a rugby game or a league game, mate, you're going to be annoyed. Because you're going to go, yeah, this guy's going to, and then, you know, they're going to tip you. So what is he doing now? Like, F up, Malcho. You know, shut up, Malcho. Try to watch the game, man. You know, so that's why basketball, I think, is starting.
Get the ball in the hoop.
That's it. You just got to dribble. And I think, you know, like we were talking before, you know, participation numbers, it's up there with soccer now. You know, it's more. It's the numbers are up. There's more people playing basketball than playing rugby at the moment.
How's our soccer team? You know, they I don't know how they're doing, but
Phoenix.
Oh, the Phoenix.
Auckland team. What's
No, that's Wellington Phoenix.
No, the Auckland team. Who's the Auckland team?
The football team.
It's soccer, yeah. See, we don't even know who they are.
I know because they have their club teams.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's Auckland. Was it Auckland United?
But, you know, if they were out on the news and they were doing well, you know, I'd get behind them. You know, and possibly buy a single. Like I've been watching the Breakers harder this year.
Yeah.
I want to get a Ty Webster singlet, eh?
Yeah, man.
Right, he's a man, eh?
Yeah.
But same as like everybody knows Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and maybe a couple other names, but if our soccer team and our cricket team and that can do well, it'll be the same sort of thing, eh? Even though you don't follow the sport, you know a couple of names.
Yeah.
I think there's some had to be said about having the New Zealand Warriors, New Zealand Breakers, and Wellington Phoenix in the Australian leagues.
Yeah.
That's going to be a detriment to our own competitions, right? Because people will be more focused on those rather than looking at our own
competition,
domestic competitions, especially for those sports.
Yeah.
I mean, NBC is like one of the top competitions around the world.
Awesome, eh?
It is awesome. But like say, especially New Zealand Rugby League.
Yeah.
No one's who's watching that besides the people that support.
My brother says
they
should just build up our own competition.
Yeah. And I think, do you think the Warriors are taking that away from?
I'm not
taking
sure.
all the.
But then, what do you have to aspire to? Like, if you're playing for Manuel Marlins, the Warriors is the end goal, isn't it?
Gateway.
It's a gateway. So you've got something to work towards. If the Warriors were there, you're going to bank on someone coming from Australia and spotting you. Yeah. Having the New Zealand Warriors based here gives you a chance, or that's why the Warriors fans are so loyal, because someone's going to go, I want my son to go play for the New Zealand Warriors. Like I don't think there's other way of there are, because they're sending scouts over here every month.
But then I don't think they'll help our domestic competition. I don't think it helps, because if we go back to old days where you just go to an Australian club, have no. Before the Warriors game, people just go play for Australia.
You reckon
clubs.
that'll be a better option?
Because it'll force us to concentrate on our own domestic competition and try to bring that up.
Build that.
Scouts will always come.
Yeah.
But if we build our own...
it's good for the players to go there, but they still play for New Zealand, sort of thing.
Yeah, but it forces us to do something about our own domestic competition.
Yeah. And fix that up and get the workers' clubs and look after the players better and that type of thing.
I don't know, we might can do it with having the Warriors
they
there.
They tried to do it before with the barter card.
Yeah. That worked.
Yeah.
That was well, but I mean, but there's no money. There's also no money in the in the league system. I mean, a good friend of mine.
Could be, but I guess, they didn't figure it out.
A good friend of mine, he told me that the junior league's dying. He says league's dying, club footy's dying.
Is it?
Because, he told me.
True.
If you look at the amount of teams in the under-18 system, a lot of teams have come together. They've had because they don't have the numbers.
Right.
And he's close to it. He has to watch these kids, and he's told me that the league numbers they're dying out. Over the shore where the strongholds of Northcote and all these other teams, they've had to combine with other clubs over there because, and it might be just a participation thing with the league now, And you're right though, these kids that. They're getting identified when they're 13, 14, and they're getting taken over to Sydney and that before they even get a chance to play in the system here, So, but I know, he told me, because he was actually talking to one of the head of Auckland Rugby League.
Yeah.
And they pretty much said, like, the numbers are gone. The kids, people are pulling their kids out because of what league is, So.
I'm thinking about it now, going back to the tribalism thing. As Kiwis, born, bred, and living here, how we support their origin teams, the way we are, how we have our own in our teams we support, that the Kiwis that don't support the Warriors but support other in our teams and have been all their lives. Like, where does that come from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where does that come from?
Well, why do you support Manly?
I support them because that's who my parents supported, and I remember them.
So that's tribalism right there.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
So it's interesting how tribalism can take us to support something that's far away from us.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. When you find something that you because you wanna, if you attach, I think the human nature is if you attach yourself to something, you're gonna be. Try and stay. You got to be loyal to it all the way because you don't want to be seen as being disloyal.
Yeah. Once you've invested.
That's right.
Yeah.
You've invested your. I mean, if you're a Queensland fan, And then, if you lost 3 in a row, do you know what? I've always been a bit of a New South Wales bro. Honestly, man, don't talk to me, man. And you couldn't do that, And because you've, like you said, you've invested so much time, so much energy, and people just love if it's done well. That's what I think what State of Origin does for us. Like you said, we're not even Australian. You're all right because you were born there. And that's us. I fell in love. I've been funny. My reason why I followed Queensland is because my brother was New South Wales, my older brother. Yeah. So me and my brother John, we were like, this guy, man. Whatever TV is going for, we're gonna be against because we just love tune. And then, once we picked our side, that was us. My flag's here. I'm gonna be here for the next 25 years, and it's been that case for the. Do
you know how I came New South Wales? Third form. Because I wasn't really a league fan, so I didn't know what State of Origin was back in third form. But I remember in form class, Sandy Saw. He was New South Wales man.
Oh yeah.
I remember Kim, who's supporting? What? State of Origin? What's that?
Yeah.
It's the league. Who's supporting? I don't know. New South Wales, mate. Okay.
Sandy Saw.
And that was from there. From then on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. And that, like how we said before, the what's the thing that Masha, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Yeah.
When you stay like Blues fans, man, like good on you. Like if you stayed with them through those league years, that's why everyone was jumping up and down last week because. How great, that feeling, if you stay in. But if you that's right, And if you jump from chimps, you can't take them seriously. Yeah. You're like, this guy's disloyal, but he's probably like that in his real life,
But, it's interesting. It'll be cool to see New Zealand get up to that sort of level of, ripping Auckland and that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will, but it'll be cool to see that. Because, a lot of, a lot of our brown people, we want to be Americans, But
yeah.
I mean, I'm into it as well. But it'd be cool to support our own stuff as more.
I wonder if the appeal of American sport is because
I was wondering if it's going to change because with COVID and China and stuff like that. But because everybody, the world follows. American trends and things like that.
I think it's just that adrenaline rush when you're with the fans.
Yeah,
because you see it on social media especially when the NFL's on, and all those bars in the States, they've got the dedicated team bar. Like they've got dedicated team bars. Like they might have I saw a video of Steelers. They've got their dedicated bars around Pittsburgh, and everyone's in their uniform. It's packed.
Yeah,
everyone's drinking, watching the game.
The only place that I feel it, I guess I go to church. Like when I travel, whenever I go to the same church but another country, it's the same. I get the same feeling. It's pretty cool. And then school, whenever I run into a Max guy from when I'm in Aussie and that, I have that, but I don't have that with the teams.
Yeah,
or maybe with the All Blacks.
Yeah, you're definitely with the All Blacks.
Yeah, but not with any of the local teams, really. Like
connecting,
we're proud.
Yeah.
That you're from or support the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we can build that up with the, like the Americans do with their sporting local teams, cities and stuff like that. People are proud to be from Atlanta or LA or Detroit or whatever, but people don't rep Auckland and that hard.
When we talk about club sports, I think the closest we get to that kind of tribalism is maybe the Ponsonby Rugby Club.
Yeah, they've sort of they got a bit of a thing.
There's what's that?
I hate them.
Ponies.
I said it.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Yeah, but that's
unless you're from Ponsonby.
Yeah. So I guess they're winning in that way.
That's right. And they have that.
Yeah. True, you're right. They got it. Yeah,
they've got it.
I guess Mount Albert is the league one.
Mount Albert, the Lions.
The Lions.
And who's going through it as well at the moment is the Point Sheaf Pirates.
Yeah.
Everyone, I know that everyone they do not like them. If you're a Point Sheaf Pirates
You're a disciple,
family member or something, then you're all in on them, you know?
Oh yeah, there's that, and then I mean there's that level which is very important, but then also like the Akarana or
That's
yes.
yes.
You know, like the Huskies, that level as well, like the city,
you want
the city,
the city,
you know, like you said, the NPC is probably really good, eh?
Yeah.
That's probably one of the few sports that's at that level where you have like a great following from each town and city.
Yeah.
Fans
Oh yeah,
like that.
especially the division.
But doing that
across,
across the sports.
Yeah. You're right. You know, you hope
because that's the hats, right?
Yeah,
That we should be wearing.
that's right.
Whatever that is.
Whatever sport.
Equivalent, eh?
Yeah.
Equivalent of you know, the Red Sox or the Blue Jays or whatever sport you follow. Was it diamonds and you know, the girls should be wearing.
Oh yeah,
the
netball.
that sort of thing. Yeah. Whatever
no.
sport you're into.
Yeah.
The local team and having that marketing and the logo and all that sort of stuff really pop.
Yeah, you know what? That's a real valid point because I wish, you know, netball is the number one female played sport here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I can't recall walking past someone and they've got a silver fern jacket, you know, like how we wear All Blacks gears.
Yeah, or even
Warriors
just the club
gears
teams,
and
eh?
that.
Like
Yeah.
What is it, the Pulse and all that stuff?
Yeah, that's right. You know, we don't, I don't know what, you know, maybe this will be another podcast where we can try and...
I think even accessibility, like before we only had to have a Sky satellite to watch the games. Now they've got Sky Now. You can watch on your phone, any device now.
Oh, they're playing games on Prime. You know, Prime. Like I don't even. It's funny because the guys at work they'll come and go, bro, did you watch the game? You know, they said one of my mates goes, bro, who won the Canterbury Rams game? And I go, oh, did you watch it? And he goes, yeah, I watched it on Prime. I go, what? You know, oh, sorry, man. I don't. I'm Sky. I don't do ads. I don't do ads, buddy. I just.
That's so 90s.
Yeah. Man, you know, what did you end up buying a foot massager because you got sucked in by the ad there, or?
Superways.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? What?
I thought it said 3 hours 50.
What
but that says 2 hours 50.
Oh, okay. Well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
guys.
look at that, man.
We solved some problems there.
Oh, no, I think we've exposed some. Now we've got to solve them, eh?
Yeah. It says it's girls on the bars, buy a bar.
Yeah.
Make it a sports bar. We do the hey, if Blues win, you get free beer. 1-4.
What is it? Some of the Hungry Jack stuff in that, eh? The boxing, was it? Joseph Parker.
Oh, the Burger King, eh? And the other one was with the Breakers. If they scored over a certain
point, stuff like
and
that,
you took your ticket, you get a free burger in that.
Yeah.
You know, because you know what
NBA does that, eh?
Yeah.
How they say if they score 100, everyone gets a free drink with their pizza if you go to Pizza Hut or something.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to Mark Cuban, and he was talking about how he would rather like sell some of his tickets cheaper to pack out the stadium for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Because of for the players and the vibe, and I'm like, why don't we do that for like the Blues and the Warriors and stuff, like, you know, the kids. Prices.
They do that, and they do like the kid gets it free with an adult kind of.
Oh, do they do that?
Yeah. They, but I guess if you do look at the Warriors games when they're winning, it's a packed house.
So that's the other part of the equation.
Yeah.
But yeah, just finding ways to pack out the stadium, you know, to bring the vibe and energy. But I guess they got to win as well. Because when we went to the Madison Square Garden, it was a game in like a random day, and they had like heaps of kids from different schools come.
Oh yeah.
They had the cam, the dancing thing.
Yeah.
Every time there was like a timeout,
a break,
there was always something happening. And like you go to the games and you're just looking around. Like things aren't happening.
Yeah.
You gotta have something happening all the time, eh?
Yeah, because you know, if you've got NBA TV,
League Pass,
because you know, they don't play because they connecting straight to ESPN or TNT. So, but they don't play the ads.
Oh, yeah.
So they show you what's happening on in the thing.
Halftime.
Hey, so you see the DJs.
They need to do that.
Yeah, and I'm watching. I'm getting hyped. Like, you know, I watch the Knicks games, and so they have a bit where they have every home game they have a guest DJ. So this is DJ Envy or something. He's from this club and he's playing. Everyone goes, like you said, they go around, or they've got the guy shooting the cannon.
You got to do stuff.
That's
like
right. You're right.
Every time there's a break and stuff like that, and then even like injuries in the rugby, like. I don't know, play a song, or the team can sing the team song, or the team band can play the song.
That's right.
I'm impressed how many different cams they have. Like everyone thinks it's just the Kiss cam, but it's more than that. They've got heaps. They've got heaps of different cams.
Yeah.
The show your muscle one.
Right.
Show your muscle cam.
But just get the crowd involved, bring the energy up.
You know who's actually who's touching on it now, and they do it really well, is the Breakers, because. You know, after half time, but you know, you remember at half time after that they play the Jackson 5. Can you feel it? And everyone gets up. Hey, remember that Red Sweet, bro? I was like, and everyone knows. So when that song comes on, everyone gets up because they know. Oh, this is they get these things. It's a man, bro. You know,
and they're trying some stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're on the right path.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. We've got to try and find. I guess it's crowd.
Make it an experience.
That's the word.
Because I went to the Blues games years ago, and the game used to be closer to the field, but they've pushed it back, the stand, so you feel so far.
Yeah.
Well, you want to be like you're in a local game. You know,
right up on them.
You're giving the winger heaps and. Yelling at the goal kickers and stuff. Because they can't hear you now. You're so far away. Even if you're in the front seats. You're like far away.
Well, that's the one thing about NRLA. Like the crowd's right up there.
That's the best, man. You're a part of the game.
That's right.
You can make a difference, and you can see the players give it back to the crowd. That's what you want.
Well, I think that's why basketball excels too. Because
they can do it too.
You're right up. When they say courtside, you're sitting on the set line of the team and the coach. Yeah.
But the rugby's made it too far.
Yeah,
it used to be closer because I remember we were giving it to the wingers and stuff. Me and my uncle. We could see it was getting to them a little bit. So that's what you want to do as a fan.
But the great ones, they were scoring, coming.
Yeah. So that's all a part of it.
Yep, that's right.
Even at local level.
Yeah.
You know, when I used to go growing up and we're going to watch the rugby, we'd give it to the wingers and stuff.
Yeah.
They'd give it back. And
Yeah.
Fun.
That's right. Yeah.
See if we can handle
as long as it wasn't.
As long as it's not too ugly. Yeah. Just have a little joke around and stuff.
It's like that Johnny Tuvasa Shek. Have you seen the new skit that he's done?
No.
Oh, well, you should check it out. It's about guys who've done their homework.
Yeah.
So he's pretending like he's a player who's just come subbed on. And then someone goes, Solid, they've put on the most useless guy on their team. And he goes, oh, yeah, good one. And then they start going overboard. You know, he goes, like stuff like, Solid's got mental health issues, man. And he's like, oh, Solid water. He starts going, and I was like, far out, That's when it goes too much, eh? You don't mind saying, like you said, like, who's coming second to the, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about stuff like this, whoa. So it's kind of
How
funny.
did that get leaked?
Yeah. Like, hey, man, this guy's following me on Instagram. So he's following, and his knee, it's his left knee that's injured. And like, what?
Hey, we should go to Huskies game.
I told you, man.
Yeah.
They play at Trust?
No, they play at
Arena Spark.
They play out at the one in North Shore.
If they win a championship, I'll buy some apparel, but not until then.
Well, I'll tell this guy. I thought, the next time we're going to go watch the Franklin Bulls.
Yeah.
I was thinking of buying the Blues jersey this year because they won it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like that pattern, eh? I don't know what it is. Is that smashed glass or is it trying to be water? Or?
Probably shattered dreams. 18 years of shattered dreams.
Come to reality.
Sorry, I was going to stop the slander. Sorry.
Yeah, Blues haven't been too flash of their designs lately. Like the one previous looked like a blue tiger.
Yeah.
But I really like.
Can they do?
See, it's funny because the
Can
Blues
they do the hoops?
You know the Blues.
Yeah.
Can they do the blue and white hoops?
Oh, that's Auckland.
Yeah,
but
just
do
a retro one.
Just do a little take on it,
I don't think there has been a good
Are you not allowed to do that?
jersey. Because if you think about the other teams, you can have different years and still look the same.
Yeah.
Like, especially the Hurricanes. I mean, they all look the same.
Yeah, they've always been black in... There's that one year they done the ugly grey kind of...
Yeah. But that was the alternative strip, right?
Yeah,
But,
alternative, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. With the Crusaders, you can have any year and still look the same.
Yeah.
With the Blues, you can have any year and that was 94. Oh, that was 2003, you know? Because they've all been ugly.
Is it a marketing thing? Like we said, like the Warriors, they were having 10 jerseys a year.
You know who's, I think, been underrated is the Breakers. Because, you know, they won the 3 championships.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I don't feel like, you know, they did pretty rubbish this year, but they've gotten their respect. Yeah, I don't know if...
I think they... I
They
feel
did?
they have.
They
I feel
did
they
have
do.
those 3 years.
During
And they
that
still-
time? During
yeah.
that time? All right.
But they go through lean, you know, there's that time when...
Well, they're struggling now, but you know,
yeah.
they're still...
But that's
their
because they
people
were
are
based over
successful.
there, eh? Yeah.
They're still pretty massive.
Yep.
But that was off the back of New Zealand basketball winning.
Doing well,
coming fourth
Fourth
Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Olympics or champs?
World champs.
World champs, yeah.
Yeah. When they came fourth, that's when it really blew up.
Yeah.
Eh?
But, you know, piggybacking off that a little bit more.
Yeah, you're right. And I just think,
Using
well, we
that.
haven't had a... Well, if you look at the Breakers games, when you're watching them on TV, man, they're packed,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, it's good, yeah.
They do their... I think they...
Because they hung their championships on the rafters, eh? That's cool. That's good. You
They
can't
do
take
it
that
well.
away.
I think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do it well.
Oh, right,
Yeah. And they,
I'd
and they know
play
how
on
to
it.
do the corporate side too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play on that more. Because, you know, everybody talks about the Warriors, but they haven't done it yet. Yeah, they get a fair bit of talk, but...
Do you think you'll live to see the Warriors win the NRL?
I don't want to say I've given up, but I guess it's always possible. Like, you know, changes. You know, you see clubs that are like the Broncos. They're always at the top. They lose like Wayne Bennett, some people, then it goes to rubbish. So the reverse can happen. For the Warriors, they can change management and coaches and stuff. I still think they're far away from right now. I guess they're getting closer. You know, on and off. You know, Cleary was there and Daniel Anderson. They were pretty close, so they just have to bite time until they get the right staff in there. Every team goes through their
But
their
they've just
ups and
been
downs,
they've just been in this down for
Have they? Of all expansion teams, they're the last ones left.
Yeah, I hope they win it. Yeah, it'll be cool.
So
to see.
you don't think in your lifetime you're gonna see a Warriors?
They seem so far away right now.
Yeah, they seem
very far away. Yeah.
Well, you know,
I thought the guy would be better. new owner.
Nathan Brown,
No, the new owner.
the coach.
What's his name? The Ortex guy.
Oh yeah.
Seems like he hasn't made many, or in my opinion, many good calls. Like with Nathan Brown, I think he's good.
They
Some
bring
of the
back Chad
players-
Townsend this
Yeah,
weekend.
that's a bad
Well,
call
but
as well.
it's whoever's head of league operations, you know.
Is
But
it-
you know,
who makes the call on that stuff? Is it the
no, it is.
CEO or
Would be the
league?
GM. Would be the
Oh.
GM. And I think.
Well, who's
but-
that? Who's that?
I can't remember.
Well, those are all bad calls.
Yeah, but no. In saying that, I think
Terrible.
they've made the best move they've made is having Phil Gould be in charge of league operations. Because if you follow him on Twitter, he just left. He was here to come and oversee, and he, you know, and like if you look at where Parramatta is, I mean Penrith, he built that. He went back to them and said, "We've got to invest back into the junior clubs."
Yeah.
You know?
I think he did a good
And I
job,
think
yeah.
he's going to do that here. I think they are. I'm talking like I'm a Warriors, but I'm just saying the Warriors. The best thing that they've done is hire him, and I think he's going to have a bit of influence and a bit of sway, and I think he's going to get these guys back. So I reckon in my lifetime the Warriors are going to win, and I'm going to say it might be in the next.
I think they've got more of a chance if they're based in Australia. Move them to Australia.
I think they're not
Not really Warriors, eh?
They didn't do this. Not a franchise. It's not like the NBA where you
New
take it
Zealand
from.
Wallabies.
Yeah.
Warriors fans can support them from afar.
When's your next recording you got coming up? Oops.
I'm supposed to have Sly.
Stallone. Damn.
Oh.
Now when I do some coaching at CrossFit Infinite, so the owner he stepped down after 11 years. So I reached out to him. Hopefully he's still keen. He said he was to just share his journey, his 11 years. So he's still a part of the gym, but not as like the owner.
So where's that one based?
North Shore.
Oh, okay.
So I just do a
Is
little
that
coaching there.
Is that one of the big ones in the CrossFit?
Yeah, one of the original ones. 11 years, man. That's
Yeah.
a long time. He was in there, and he's just sold up, but he's still part of the community and running events, but just not running the gym fully. But yeah, he's still there. But no, good dude, and good community. So just sort of here is our journey for his 11 years running in the gym. So hopefully he doesn't cancel on me, but we're set for Sunday. I was supposed to do it last Sunday, but I was a little bit crook. I said, "Oh man, I'm not feeling too well. Could we push it back next week?"
You know, one more quick. You know, Matt Fraser, he's retired now.
Yeah.
Who's the number one guy now in CrossFit? Have you been following it or?
They're not too closely, but they're sort of heading into that season now.
Yeah.
So the new guy hasn't been crowned yet.
Yeah, but is there? Do you know who the favourite would be looking at?
No, I don't follow. It's weird.
Not as much.
I was immersed into CrossFit. Now I don't really follow.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
So you just kind of move. You said that's a part of my life.
Oh,
now.
I mean, I still like it. And
Yeah.
I'll see a few posts through friends that are right into it and family and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'll look at that, but I used to check the page and see what's coming up and all that sort of stuff. But nah, not anymore. I'm right into my basketball.
Yeah.
Whenever I get immersed into something, I get immersed into it. So
Yeah.
League
Sure.
was.
Yep.
And that was just everything. And then when I got into CrossFit, I was fully immersed into it.
Yeah.
So now I'm into basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So I watch the NBA, the NBL. It's my YouTube stuff, and I'm doing the knee stuff, which is connected to basketball. So everything is about basketball, basically. So yeah, I still see stuff with the CrossFit, but I still think it's awesome. Since I've stopped doing it, I feel like I've lost a lot of muscle mass, and I'm starting to miss it now. After about 6 months of not doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like hitting a few wads now, but it was sort of fun not getting really tired for 6 months because it's quite hard.
Yeah.
I've been training still a lot, but not like CrossFit style ones. Yeah. But now I'm starting I feel like doing some stuff, so I might do some workouts soon. Not too much, maybe 1 or 2, because it's just it takes a toll on you. But I mean, some people still love it, But yeah, it's mentally tough to push yourself as hard as you can a lot,
Because you've got to be. You can't do it. You can't do it half-hearted.
Well, some people do it that way, but I can't.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, so you can't.
Some people can
just
sort of cruise through. But I was like, it's sort of like the basketball. If it turns into a muck around, then I just want to walk off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I may as well just train a different way. I don't want to do a workout and then not push hard, somewhat. But we'll see. Yeah, it's interesting how he's moved on.
Yeah.
But the Aussie girl's still beating every.
What's her name?
Tia Claire Toomey.
Yeah.
Still dominating everyone. But we'll see.
What did we? So did we hit the 3 hour mark? What are we at?
Yeah, man. 3 hours 6
Far
minutes.
out. I just feel like it.
You know what's funny now? I was reflecting on the way here, because the box you have seasons. Saying when I was in Aussie, I was with my mates, and we would get into poker or quiz nights, and so CrossFit, that was one of the communities.
Yeah.
So you have your family, church, there's CrossFit. But now it's family, church, podcasting.
Oh yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah.
So I've lost a certain community in a way.
You replaced one with another.
Yeah. So there's different seasons,
That's right.
So I hang out through podcasting friends, and now I'm making new basketball ones.
Yeah.
So I'm into the basketball community now and getting to know the people there, the different coaches and players and stuff like that. So it's been a cool change.
We might have to go watch one of these guys' games here on us. You play Wednesday. What days are you on? Wednesdays or?
When do we play? Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thursdays.
So, but you didn't have a game.
We didn't play today.
Okay.
We had a bye.
Yep.
Whereabouts do you guys play?
No, we're not sure. It depends who, because we play at Killston.
Yeah.
we've played away. We've played different schools. Yeah. Played at Mags. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's interesting how life takes you that way. Because you guys, you use the podcasters now, but before you would have different things, eh?
Oh, what you see now? Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Even
You're right.
what you're saying, partying. Different phases, eh?
Yeah,
I've had my partying phase and rugby.
Yeah.
League and stuff like that, eh?
It was funny. You were talking about poker and all that kind of stuff. We were going through that phase.
Oh, right. Yeah. You have your little phases. Yeah. So
Planning wasn't a phase, it was like a lifestyle. 20 years of.
We were still in that phase. Yeah.
But now it's slowed down heaps.
Yeah.
Now
it's good you have replaced it with more podcasts.
Yeah. You're right. Because if we didn't have a recording tonight, if this guy gets shot, we'll just have a few and hang on. Bro. No.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's what I found interesting,
Yeah.
Being away.
The cool thing is that you approach the same things that you approach back.
The same sort of energy.
The same kind of energy, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Shot, man.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for
coming
up.
3 hours, man. That flew, man.
Yeah. I guess this is what I look forward to, like the same way I used to look forward to, CrossFit and hanging out with their friends. Because, we'd go to their, you end up being like family.
Yeah.
You go to different events, not just the training.
Yeah.
The same sort of thing. So, yeah, same with the podcasting. Super.
Mate.